us and hear us, and I'm going to tweet, we're live!
Hello, everyone. We're here. We've been on for
Relate.
almost a
My
half
fault.
hour. I'm sorry. We should have said 7:30, but shit happens. Hello.
As always, it is a disaster.
That's my good friend.
On
Welcome
brand.
to Nat Disaster. My name is Brian Creevy. I am the Disaster Master, the DM here. Thank you to Asia Kobe. But yeah, we're here for session 21 of the Heist campaign. After a week off, and the week before doing split sessions, it's good to have the full party back together again. But yeah, this is Nat Disaster, just a bunch of idiot friends sitting around digitally and trying to play a cohesive game of D&D. But yeah, let's go around and intro people. I'm gonna catch them off guard as usual. Our tech paladin over there.
Hi, I'm Conlon Rose. I play Rain. I'm trying to tweet something while you're doing this, you rude little bitch.
I gotta do it every time.
Okay. Hi, I'm Conlon Rose. I play Rain in this wonderful campaign. Oh man, this is a unique night for her. It's gonna be a thing.
It's a interesting time in Zista City.
It's an interesting time in her life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your guys' thing, so I'm like scared now.
After that, down below on my circle, which is probably different than what the stream's actually seeing, but we have Mr. Mains down there.
Oh, yeah. I'm Brian. I play Serenity. It's gonna be a fun night. The
succubus incubus going to the club. Oh god. Oh god.
She is gonna have so much fun.
Yeah.
She's not gonna leave the bathroom. Why did I say that out loud?
Okay.
Oh god, Brian.
Is Serenity one of those girls who at a club is like, oh my god, your makeup is so cute?
No, I think she's doing something much more nefarious.
Yeah, but I can also picture her just being like the person who's like, oh honey, you should just leave him.
Oh, yes. And it'd be like, just leave him come with me.
Yeah,
exactly. That's what
So
she would
much
do.
better.
Definitely. Not even a... Apparently the tag Dungeons and Dragons no longer exists, and it's not letting me type it in. How rude.
Weird.
After that, following around in the circle right below me, we have the wonderful Vicky.
Hi. I'm Vicky. I play Andy. He is a Tabaxi monk rogue. And oh my god, he is so excited to dance. It's all he's been wanting to do this entire
Let's
game.
dance.
Dance. This is how we dance.
Andy is a much better dancer than I am, okay? His acrobatics is a +12. He is so good at dancing.
And you guys are gonna be interested to see like a club scene. This is gonna be interesting in Zista City. After Vicky, we have the majestic beard himself, chaos blowing in on the wind. We have Mr. Callum.
Hey, I'm Callum. I play Wind Whisper.
Seabreeze.
Now. Yeah, it's Seabreeze now.
You changed your name.
I did change my name.
And look.
It's okay. I screwed up every time I pause and then say Seabreeze.
Yeah, true. I tried. Whatever.
And last out of everyone, we got the masked vigilante of Zista City himself.
How's it going, guys? I'm Andrew. I play Delson Martathas, aka the Shadow, Zista City's resident vigilante. And yeah, he is still a little bit reeling from that dinner with his mother. But he has 2 invitations for himself and Rain now, so...
We have so many invitations. We went from like, man, this might be a struggle to, wow, I guess we're all getting in easy.
We need to find a way into, oh my god, who else can we get in here?
Yeah, we can bring we can bring 2 more people in.
We should really just give one to a complete stranger. Just like somebody random and just be like, okay, they're sure to cause chaos.
Oh my god, that's a joke. I have
behind.
people.
Just like a complete, just some
people.
dude. Yeah.
That sounds like
This
a
is-
great idea.
We need to
actually.
give a ticket.
I
to,
know what I'm doing with because I'm holding most of the invitations.
I think you have almost all of them. I think
I'm pretty
Delson
well-
has some in his bag.
Yeah, Delson has his, and I'm pretty sure Rain's as well.
Probably.
Brian, what were you saying? You started saying we need to
Actually,
get
I don't think
We need
you
to give
have
one
them. I think
to,
your mom said she was going to hold them unless we showed
Right.
up.
what's her name?
Right.
Says
That's
Come-
interesting.
Come on, Brian. Come on, Brian. You got this.
It's common, right? No, that's not her name.
Normal.
Fuck. Normal.
Had to help you.
no.
Normal.
Normal
Yes.
has her ways in.
Of course she has her ways in.
I'm sure
Yes.
Normal was probably invited. She's
Uh,
a level 20 character.
so the blank invitation is going to
Ye-
So I'm
Yes.
sure you guys can all
my
talk
brain
about
forgot your
this.
name for a second. I was like, really? Useless.
I'm sure you guys can all find time to talk about this in game today in the club.
Yeah,
finding
sorry.
out everything.
We get distracted, okay?
We're having
I
fun.
know.
Can I move it?
But yeah. We do tangents a lot. So I hope you guys have fun trying to track this story because oof,
We don't
it's
know how
all
to
over
track
the
it.
place.
Because we sure don't know how.
But not many things for announcements other than I am in a new setup now. We have finalized my desk for the most part with a gaming
Good.
chair, 2 monitors so I can have things up on one screen and then everybody here on the other. So it's a good time.
Brian is all set up.
There's definitely some improvements coming to the Nat Disaster stream, including we might be improving people's audio and camera quality coming up soon. So we're
Yeah.
trying to make sure
Our next person will probably be
best
Andrew.
quality. Good things coming in the year for Nat Disaster. But for today, we come to bring the next installment of the Heist campaign. No new announcements other than thank you to Vicky again for my Disaster Master mug. I'm having a wonderful evening drink in it. But yeah.
I have some coffee still because I am an idiot.
I just finished a whole cup of coffee.
Mug. Oh my god.
It's
But-
so cute.
Yeah.
It's a very good mug. It holds more than you'd think, too.
But that is all we have for announcements. So, if everybody is ready, we can let tonight's 21st disaster unfold. So, previously on that disaster heist, you guys have had quite a interesting day. After splitting up after visiting Normal Shop of Normal Things and getting a late mid-afternoon snack meal from Paul, you guys all had to split off on your own to 2 separate tasks to do. Delson being invited by his mother for an evening chat at the Martathas Manor, and accepting the invite, bringing a +1 as well. That +1 being Rain, while the rest of the group of Seabreeze, Andy, Serenity, all heading off with Paul to help Paul with a favor, a task to him by Fate's favor. With an interesting night with Rain and Delson, both talking about the future of the heist and possible plans of action needing to be taken place if things go awry of the heist.
Not just the future of the heist, the future of Zista.
And then having interesting family meeting with Delson's mother Cecilia and also his younger sister Kalina, learning a little bit more about the Martathas family and their possible rise up or down into suspended superiority in a little bit, needing Delson to come back and go to the gala with the family to present a good image for the family's stability currently in the world. Delson doing a little snooping around with those 2 levels of rogue that he added into his character, trying to find any dirt on his father, and Titilia's shop, the one that had burned to the ground, and Delson had found a year ago, a rogue fleeing the scene afterwards. Rain also pressing a little bit more into her past with somebody higher up in society, trying to see if she can glean any information that is missing from her memory, and getting interesting vibes from the responses Cecilia Martathas had. While the rest of the group went off Seabreeze very early on, branching off from the group of Andy, Serenity, and Paul for his own side mission. The rest of them went and talked a little bit about the state of the group, questioning random things like Seabreeze's age, whether Seabreeze is an adult or not, and other questions and things touching upon like
We need our answers still.
Paul
Mhm.
thinking about how it's unfair. Humans are given without any sort of magical abilities, and they got to use what they have, what they're gifted to them.
Even though
Also,
they get
some
ability score improvements.
and also some suspicions about members of the party themselves. You guys arrived at Andy's parents' shop, the Sharp and Touch, a weapons shop, finding some smashed things around and signs that one of the storm elementals that had attacked Andy the night prior had maybe attacked into his room. Maybe another possible strike trying to get at Andy himself. Following Paul into the pipeline through a secret entrance behind Andy's shop, you guys met up with this entity called known as Fate's Favorite, a woman of sorts, if you can even call what you had seen a woman in a white gown, jagged teeth, and just this ever-changing acidic body, handing off some souls, some fates to her. Learning that Paul is trying to appease this creature as Fate's favor is trying to having a plan that he needs Paul's help in to get rid of her. With the plan going a little bit awry and Fate's favorite interested in taking the souls of Serenity, being an incubus, succubus, and Andy, which she detected there being multiple fates within. The scene was interrupted almost immediately with Normal appearing, saying it was a good idea to put a tracker on Paul, grabbing him, dimension dooring out, and then telling the other two, you guys, hey, you should run before putting a force cage in between them and the creature. With a very, very tight and fast-paced escape outside of the pipeline, both Andy and Serenity narrowly escaped, trapping the creature still within the pipeline and escaping with their lives. They went and got a little evening brew over at a shop nearby before heading off over to the Rainbow Tabaxi after stopping by Normals and not finding her or Paul anywhere to be seen. And that is where we ended last couple sessions. So, as you guys are all individually walking towards the Rainbow Tabaxi, Delson and Rain, you guys are coming outside from the 7th circle, from the northern section, and it gets to a point where there is an intersection. You guys are walking forward, and you know the direction to the Rainbow Tabaxi would take a left. As you're about to get out into that area with the traffic in the streets pretty actually backed up at this time, you can see plenty of people running by, carriages pushing through the street. You see walking down the center path in the direction of Rainbow Tabaxi, Andy and Serenity.
Snap.
Like we see them, or
Oh yes, you
Yeah.
see them talking and walking through the center intersection right now, like in the direction.
Andy actually definitely grabs Serenity and pulls her into a alley because he
Well,
forgot something.
I'll nudge Rain and just point towards them and say, I think we know them.
Okay. Oh, what? I didn't hear what they were doing. Sorry, we're having stream stability issues, so I'm not paying attention.
Andy
fully.
pulled Serenity into a alleyway.
Just
You saw Andy and Serenity.
No,
and
just
for a second,
like,
Andy was like,
oh, 1 second.
and grabbed Serenity and
Yeah.
pulled her to a nearby alleyway. There's actually one at the corner, heading in the direction they were walking to, where it breaks off into a side alley.
okay.
There's a little bit of traffic that every once in a while somebody kind of just runs through, but not many people go down in this direction. You guys hide off between. There's a pile of trash over in the corner.
Okay. I just look around, make sure nobody's around.
Roll a perception check.
You got it.
So we saw
Rain
them.
and Delson, what are you doing as you see this? As you saw them go off into an alleyway?
We're gonna slowly
That's
kind of walk
a-
that way casually.
19
Yeah.
perception.
19. Andy, you guys, you're there and you wait for one person to run by before the alleyway is by yourself, and you look out the entranceway, and as you're turning back, like, okay, we got this to ourselves, you catch out the glimpse of your eye, red hair that you're pretty familiar with, and familiar scarred face.
Oh, he's fine with that. He's not going to address that yet.
It's irrelevant.
He just
And,
looks
and
at.
coming up behind afterwards, a cloaked gentleman with the hood down at this one time, with the visage of Delson.
So I just say to Serenity,
Hmm?
our friends are joining us. But also, real quick, can you turn into me?
I can. Would you
Just
like me
like for
to?
a second. Yeah.
Okay, I'll
This is a weird kink.
transform into.
Okay.
I'll transform into Andy.
I'll just like kind of lean into Rain and be like, what did we just walk into?
Andy pulls his eyeliner out of his bag and the eye glitter that he got out of his bag, and he starts looking at Serenity as like a mirror of sorts and applying his makeup.
What?
That is hilarious. Do we just walk up just two Andys facing each other, and Andy clearly doing makeup?
Yeah, I'm just gonna look at Rain and be like,
He does like to look fabulous.
Yeah, I do some party makeup.
Andy is known for being fabulous.
Seabreeze, can you please roll a perception check?
Yes. Also, I have a quick question for you.
Okay.
Does the Sentinel Shield require attunement?
I think it does. I'm pretty. Oh wait, no, the Sentinel Shield. Hold on.
That's the one that I got last time, yeah?
I don't think it is. Let me see. Sentinel Shield 5e. Nope, it's just while holding the shield. If you have the shield, you have advantage in wisdom perception checks. But you also have disadvantage right now because you're still on one level of exhaustion.
Oh,
so
right, because we were talking about that the other day, how we could pass it off if, like, one of us is looking for stuff.
Yeah.
So, Callum, roll a straight roll perception check.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to make sure I was still attuned to my two swords.
Yeah.
My perception check is... Where the fuck is perception? 16.
Oh.
16. All right, yeah. So as you are riding in a cart, the carriage driver is pulling the carts on forward. You're rounding a bend and you're just looking out the window when you see for a second you're just looking, passing by, watching the faces, where you see familiar the backs of the heads of Rain and Delson, and you see two Andys in an alleyway before the cart passes by the alleyway.
Nice.
And you're confused for a second. Wet Hands is also in there on the opposite side, kind of just waving his mage hand back and forth and like playing with some of the drapes on the inside of the carriage, looking really bored.
How much did I pay for the carriage?
You didn't pay yet. You pay on arrival. It's
bail.
The meter's running. The meter's running.
No, we don't want this Seabreeze to also be wanted.
No. But what I am going to do is ask him to pull over. I'm just going to be like, pull over. And I'm going to yell out to everybody. I'm going to be like, hop in, losers. Right.
And you guys turn around as you see the cart. You see Seabreeze in a cart say, hop in, losers, as the cart continues for a little bit beyond the alleyway for a second.
Okay, have I had enough time to put all my makeup on in between?
Probably about half of it.
Oh no!
Wait a second.
Do the car.
Do the rest in the carriage.
Okay, I'll do the rest in the carriage. I take like what?
Why don't you just have me do your makeup? I can make you phenomenal makeup.
Is she lying to me?
No.
Insight check.
Insight check. Go roll an insight check.
I'm going to. He's worried about getting pranked. That's a 17.
You feel confident, especially looking at Serenity's image, somebody who is so around beauty and just perfection. You can be like, oh, I trust Serenity.
You know what makes sense? I'm looking at my own face. I can read my own tells. I go,
all right.
Okay, you should probably not be me when we get into the club.
Understandable.
Conlon, you're muted.
I didn't want to stay as you anyway.
Unless you want to make the Baroness lose her mind.
Is that mean, or are you?
No, just because I feel like it'd be confusing for everyone else.
Probably.
And you
Yeah.
probably know people there.
I do,
figured,
yeah.
Them looking at me as you and then
Oh.
requesting. Yeah.
Yeah, that would probably be bad. Okay,
Yeah.
I like run to catch up to the cart.
Okay, the cart as pulled over on the side of the road a little bit. The two brown horses kind of just went in place. The owner of the cart looks back and be like, "You getting more guests in?"
For the next
Um,
5 seconds.
Would it be illegal to use the wand of air scripts? Like, would I know that using a magic item to talk would be illegal?
Only authorized magic is allowed. So using it in public, yes, you don't have.
You would go to
authorized use.
jail.
Okay, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to say I. But I am going to and that one doesn't require attunement either, right?
No.
Okay, I am going to be like holding it though, like really holding on to it, like really excited.
Yeah, and the elven gentleman driving the cart with the rounded cap is just like, "All right, well, get him in quick. Meter's still running."
Enough room for all of us in the cart?
There's 2 different benches facing each other, so 6 people can typically fit comfortably.
Okay. I
I'm
look
pretty
around.
small though.
Has Paul?
What species is
Paul
the
around?
driver?
Roll a perception check.
Okay.
You did just say
the
Elven.
driver is Elden.
Ooh,
I
that's
am going to transform
26.
into the typical sexual, like the fantasy elven woman of like Zista.
Okay.
That was a 26 perception, Brian.
26. You look around and you can't see Paul anywhere. You do see a lot of
Okay.
more like as you look southern down the path in the direction you were heading. You do see a lot more colorful characters and attires, but starting
Because
to
we're in
mix in with the normal.
It
but
definitely starts
Paul-
making him smile a little bit in anticipation.
Paul is nowhere to be seen, and you guys get over. The elven guys are like, "All right, pile in." He doesn't even look back. He kind of
I
just puts his
pile in.
arm out from the side and goes in.
When everyone's in the cart, I am literally going to look around and I'm like, "Where's Paul?"
I'm gonna look at Andy. Where is Paul?
He's not
we
lost.
question.
We didn't lose Paul.
Oh, okay, then
We
where
Didn't
is
lose
he?
him, but we
He's with
technically-
normal.
And
Okay.
Technically.
one
I am
thing
going. My like crest is like straight up.
One thing I
I'm
would
gonna-
like to just say real quick is just as you guys piled in, who is the last person to get into the cart?
Rain
Probably
was.
got in
I'm
first.
going to be the last person.
All right,
Okay.
Serenity, as you do sit down in the seat, this was before Seabreeze spoke out because he said once he waited for everybody. You sat down in the space, and Seabreeze, you're the only one who saw where Wet Hands was sitting, and Wet Hands is like, "Oh God!" And he walks through Serenity's form, and kind of just starts sitting, kind of pouting against the window, looking at this group.
I'm gonna look at. Oh shit! So can I? Before I ask where Paul is, I'm gonna look at Wet Hands, and I'm gonna like pat the bench next to me and scoot over and give him as much room as possible.
Okay. And he comes, he's like, "All right, thanks,
I
mate."
was
I mean, and
also
you can
gonna
see half of his
try to
form
sit
is kind of
up
like
with the
through the
driver.
side of the carriage. He's just like, "I guess this kind of works."
Um,
So I
gonna-
ask where Paul is.
Yep, holding with Paul.
He's with normal. I didn't lose him. We didn't lose
So
him.
my cockatiel crest is like straight up. I'm not saying anything, but I am probably super agitated.
Well, we can go over this later. He's fine.
Maybe?
Yeah,
Where
the cart starts going forward at this time. As
We only
everybody
can
settles
hope
in.
so.
Well, he's definitely safer than when we were with him.
Oh,
Do I even want
just
to
glare
know?
at
Can the guy
Serenity.
What
Can
happened?
the guy see into the cart? The driver?
The driver, there is like a slit, but right now it's a wooden slit that's closed.
Oh, we
Can
can
anyone-
talk in here. Maybe.
Can anyone else see into the cart?
There are windows with curtains that you can draw.
I'm gonna draw the curtains real quick. I'm gonna pull out the wand and I'm gonna fill the ceiling with the word "fuck." I'm just gonna write "fuck" over
Okay,
and over.
I'm gonna whisper and just
That's
be
only
like,
a little obscene.
okay, listen. There was a really dangerous lady down in the pipeline. I'm talking in Thieves' Cant, definitely. and whispering down in the pipeline, and she was like super into eating us. So Normal got there, saved him, and then we had to run, and she almost caught up to me.
Does this have to do with his Aaron?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful.
She was
I'm gonna stop
fucking
writing
scary.
And I'm gonna look at Andy again, and I'm gonna say, "Is he actually okay?" But like, I'm writing this in probably like font that would get across that I'm like worried.
He was safe when we last saw him. I don't think it was the Normal we saw today that took him.
I'm confused.
Oh man, I really wish I was playing
really
bracket right now. This is a great time for him to say, timey-wimey bullshit.
I think it was future Normal, maybe.
I enjoyed it.
I'm gonna make a big question mark out of smoke, and then I'm gonna be like, I'm just gonna just hold the wand against the side of my head and clutch the other side of my head, and I'm just gonna be like, rah!
We checked his shop. We checked her shop. The shop was empty. Oh, we're fine. Sorry. My friend is just a little excited.
All right. Just wanted to make sure.
Thanks. I closed the slit again.
Rain responds to Thieves' Cant. Well, I guess she's taken her leave for now. Good thing we saw her today, then.
Also, he like stops for a second, and then it's just like, we can talk about it later.
What happened?
Yeah.
He kind of like shivers a little bit.
At this exact moment, you gotta like hear a little tiny weight landing on the top of the cart, and then like a shh on like the roof above the window.
I reach my arm out and grab Lucky.
And you can feel the fur, and you pull the cat.
I pull the cat in.
She's just like looking kind of like curiously up in your eyes.
Hello. I start.
That was
kinda, like,
not the
just
safest
crawls
way
around
to
on
enter.
Well, I mean, at least I got her.
She kind of like curls up and starts just sitting comfortably around your neck.
Delson's just gonna squint to the cat.
That definitely. I understand that everybody else is probably more unnerved by this, but I think it's helping calm Andy down.
Can I pet the cat too, even though I'm wet? Like, does Lucky not mind, or
roll an animal handling check at disadvantage?
Oh no!
Delson's gonna lean over to Rain and just be like, "I still don't trust that cat."
No.
Fuck.
Not at all.
I got an 8.
No.
You kind of like reach up over towards the cat and just looks at you and kind of just like it doesn't growl or hiss at you, but kind of like gives you a look and like the
Just
weird like pat away from your feather kind of thing and moves to the other side of
that like cat look where they're like,
No.
How dare you?
I wish you wouldn't, and I hope you don't, because I will have swift justice for you.
Did somebody say swift justice?
Just start striking muscle poses.
I don't think we've ever seen Lucky get violent, so I think she
You wanna?
wouldn't.
You wanna?
No.
No, she's sweet.
I know, Steve. That's why I wanted
It
to
would be
pet her.
understandable because normal cats don't like being wet.
Yeah.
That is so good. Wanna?
You want to see me do it again?
Be surprised.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
God.
definitely. You can probably definitely see a mood shift in Andy. Just the second that he has like a purring animal around his neck, it definitely calms him down.
Can I hug Andy? Like, when I see this mood shift, can I make an insight check to see if I even notice, like, while I'm worried about Paul? I feel like that's
check
probably
with disadvantage.
Sure.
all right.
He's
RP's
not
gonna
hiding
love
it.
not having disadvantage anymore.
Yeah, that's gonna be really nice. Insight. I got a 15.
It's not hard to tell.
He's
that
he's
Andy
not
hates
hiding it.
So as I like go to pet the cat, I'm like I kind of make like a pouty noise and I'm like, fine. And I just go and like I like put one arm around Andy and I like rest my head on Andy's shoulder and I'm like I feel like I would say whatever would be the most likely to convey you did the best you could. We'll find him, like, but I don't know those words in that order.
That's very sweet.
As he does that too, you can feel all the sand on your body kind of shift up away
Yeah.
from him and get on your shoulder above where he is. And you
Yeah.
can see the bone upper torso and head of Zolo just kind of appear, and just like, oh, it kind of like shakes, and you can see some water comes off.
Aw.
Gross.
So-
This is a lot going on in this cart.
A bone naga and a kenku around you.
Yeah, definitely the one hand that is petting Lucky, the other hand now comes and rests on top of Seabreeze's head and just starts just like
Ruffling up his
yeah.
feathers.
See the
Little
little water
scritches.
droplet coming off with each
Starts
scritch.
getting completely moist with my feathers.
Yeah, you see him begin to
my
mat
hand,
his
it's not a
fur.
problem. It's just my hand. It's not like my whole
I
arm.
know, I'm just giving you a hard time.
It's probably matting your fur.
Maybe.
Yeah, because I feel like it's probably not water. I feel like it's like stickiness. You know what I mean? Like, have you guys seen Howl's Moving Castle?
Yeah.
I have
Definitely
not,
just
but I
goes
know what
like
you're talking
this
about.
in between, just like shaking off the extra water. Oh man, this guy is gonna charge us extra.
Yeah,
And
it's
Andy-
gonna be a cleaning fee after we leave.
Andy, as this moment was coming where you were kind of like a little bit unsure about what to talk about, and now you have all these comforts on you, it's a little bit of warmth that is filled in this moment where you're starting to feel down.
Sweet.
But
It's very
great.
sweet that the second that Andy showed any amount of distress, 3 creatures were like, "Let me comfort you."
It's because we don't believe Andy should at any point be harmed.
Andy is like the only one who should not be. Like everyone
Rained
else
entire
deserves
plan
to be some
that, like, if this goes wrong, is make sure Andy's okay. We'll figure out the rest.
Well, now that he feels a bit more comforted, I think he probably feels able to talk about it.
You going to bed?
He'll gently, continuing in These Can't Say, I think those storms were targeting me.
That's bad.
What she said.
One went into my parents' shop. It not destroyed my old room, but I mean, it definitely made a mess out of things. There was a cut through the sheet on my bed. Feels
Andy.
like it was about me. Yeah.
So, at like as you say this, I'm like stiffening, and I'm probably like sitting up and like looking directly at you.
Mm-hmm.
So, 2 things. 1, was there anything that it was looking for that you might have any idea about?
I honestly don't know. I tried looking to see if anything was missing, but I couldn't find if anything was.
2, I'm going to not request. I'm going to get an audience with the ever raging storm and set this straight. If this is connected to that,
Oh, let's see how
You're gonna
well
try-
that works.
Are you saying you're trying
saying
to
that
right
to
now,
us, or are you
gonna do it-
trying-
I'm saying
right
that to Andy.
Oh.
If you're being targeted by my patron, I'm going to set that straight.
That did cross my mind. I
Like,
don't want
it
to.
could be unrelated, but it
Yeah, I
seems
don't wanna, like-
almost too too coincidental to not be.
I don't want to like, say anything bad about your guy. It just freaked me out. 'Cause, I mean, 3 places I go to regularly were hit. It just doesn't seem.
It seems worrisome.
Yeah, I feel like I'm the only thing that connects those 3 places. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe there's something else, but
I'm going to like make a hard look at Andy at this point.
Mm.
And I'm gonna say and I'm gonna like hold out my hand for one of those like bro high five kind of deals.
okay.
And, like, we stick together, you'll be safe.
Oh.
For
Thanks,
one
Sea
raging,
Breeze.
Wet Hand kind of puts his ghostly hand on top of the pair of your hands.
Aw.
You can't see that though, Andy. Only
That's
Sea Breeze
sweet,
does.
though. Do I feel it?
No.
Oh, okay, interesting. I'll also just like nudge Sea Breeze and be like, next time you want to wander off, you can just tell us.
Oh. Okay, so that was all in character. You said
Mhm.
next time you wander off, tell us. And I
Yeah.
probably my eyes went wide and I was like, shit, gotta tell you guys some shit. So wandered off. I talked to the ever raging storm, and some information was gathered, and also, so I know where I need to put the shards now, which is good for me. I'm not sure what that really means still, and
I
I'm
imagine
also
this is still all on the ceiling, right?
no, I'm
Because there's no way
writing
you
this in
can
my
change-
journal. This is being
Oh,
written.
okay.
I was just about to specify that because I don't want anyone to see this.
Fair.
So you're
yeah,
only showing this to Andy?
No, I'm showing this to all of you. I'm holding this like out and writing it. So, I know where to
Oh,
write.
I can't read. I just realized I can't read.
Rain
I
will read it out loud to you, Andy.
I will also, yeah, we can read it in Thieves' Cant, but either way, I know where to drop.
Andy can't read is hilarious. Like,
I forgot. I fucking forgot.
So what does it say, Callum?
I know where to put the shards. I don't know what that means. I also was gifted the ability to see an air bridge that leads to Dai Hanada's something. Let me look up what exactly that was.
An air bridge?
Now that sounds useful.
How is die spelled?
DAI.
DAI.
Okay, so
oh no! Worst timing in Discord.
Every time the person who is speaking makes this connection.
What I like though is that realistically, this makes sense for having like taken place inside of a cart because horses are way slower than cars. So we're actually probably moving at like walking speed down the alley, just in a nice cart.
This is the consistent Nat disaster experience for all of you watching.
It's pretty on brand.
Yeah. Andrew, we haven't had a problem with you in a while. I remember your catchphrase when you first joined us in Humblewood. Fuck you, Discord.
Ever since I stopped using it on my laptop, I haven't had an issue with Discord.
Shit, where'd I lose you guys?
As you began talking.
All right. So
all they heard about was the air bridge, and then you said you were going to look into what it said.
Okay, so it's an air bridge. It connects the Dai's house to the rest of the city. It's a drawbridge made of invisible air particles, and only I can see it.
Can we use it?
Yes.
Should we?
Theoretically.
Not until we're leaving. If we have to leave quickly.
It'd be a good exit strategy.
Maybe we should inform maybe we should tell that Triton about it. What's his name?
I was just going to give him tickets and hope for his best.
I
No,
thought
we
he
should-
said he
we should
wanted
help
to.
He,
I thought he said he wanted to sneak in. He didn't want a ticket, didn't he?
he said if we didn't have one, he wouldn't care. He was going anyway. I'm going to
Oh,
hand him a
okay.
ticket so he causes less of a disturbance.
Makes sense, I guess.
Understandable.
I
So
have a
hope he-
feeling that there's already going to be
thing
enough
I have to
disturbances
say-
with so many criminal organizations vying for power in one
Hmm.
event.
I hope he has some nice clothes, because I mean, he didn't. He didn't
I
know
did
he
tell
was gonna
him
have a
that this
ticket.
morning. Was it this morning we talked to him? Or 2 mornings
ago.
ago? We did say that to him 2
Oh.
mornings ago. Who knows what he did with that?
Oh, okay. I don't think I
So-
was there for that conversation. I don't remember.
You
If
were.
The
Andy was
last bit
You were. You just don't
of
remember.
He just
information that I
was
gathered
spacing out the whole time.
was that there is a rumor going around that there is a god walking in Zista.
What?
A god, you say?
Rain doesn't. Huh?
Someone, some female paladin went to the temple of the gods and disappeared. And when she came back, she was with a Yuan T pureblood who claimed that it was, what was the god's name again, Brian?
You're silent.
Your
Diefall.
Diefall. They
Okay,
haven't
goddess
been
of balance.
seen since
I
they showed.
recognize that name.
Balance and warfare. Right.
You all know this is the goddess of balance and war.
Oh no.
Diefall walks among us.
And you, at this point, you're probably seeing this like super devilish glint in Seabreeze's eyes.
The gods aren't supposed to walk among us. There's
She's
reasons
probably
they stay
pissed.
separate.
Either she wanted to come here and is fucking with people, or she's pissed.
Zolo kind of like shivers a little bit on Andy's shoulder and then like comes back into the fray.
Rain
What
pulls
do-
out, swaps her
Feeling
bag
that,
open.
what do I know about Diefall?
Yeah,
In
do I know anything
specific.
about Diefall either? Or
Roll
Rain's
me.
gonna start looking through her book from the Grove of the story. If you can read Elven, you'll see that the book says. Oh crap, Brian! What did we decide the book said? We talked about this last session. I didn't wear it down.
What?
18.
It was basically like a children's book.
It's like stories from time's alignment. So if you can read Elven, Rain's now looking through a book.
No.
To look for
I feel
Diefall's
like,
name
I feel
or
like
information.
Andy can probably read more Elven than Common just because of his upbringing.
You probably recognize the book.
Probably.
You've probably seen it before. You've been
I've
to
always
school.
imagined Andy can read like the
So
and
history
cat.
checks. Rain.
I didn't roll it yet because I was focused on my other statement. I wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. That's depressing.
Does she get
that's-
advantage because she's looking through the book?
No, it's not specifically.
That's a separate
on Diefall.
thing.
It's a child's book about
Okay,
the story.
okay.
So.
I was just trying.
13. It wasn't very good.
Delson.
I got an
17.
18.
You're not
18.
Delson.
Okay, Vicky, and then with Seabreeze with disadvantage.
7.
Oh, I don't. Honestly, I don't care to know about Diefall,
Okay.
except that I want to meet Diefall.
Vicky, you just simply know Diefall, goddess of balance and war. That's all
Okay,
you
yeah,
know.
makes sense.
Rain, you do know that this god was the depiction of them is a Yuan-Ti pureblood, so it does track. There's a lot of history with this god in the time before time started and early years of this goddess making appearances to the western forests.
Okay.
But not for centuries, and probably over a millennium.
Okay. Rain's still gonna look
for
through the book to
both-
see if there's anything useful in it.
For both Delson and Serenity, you do know this god is that stuff I said earlier with Rain, but you also know that this god is notorious for keeping things equilibrium, keeping things balanced whenever there's just a disturbance, righting it, and they have no qualms for doing anything
Straight up
in order
murdering.
to keep that balance. Especially in war, there's a balance of doing it for the right reason, for law, for personal gain. She is more for no killing for a purpose, no chaotic thing, and nothing to keep the status quo. Just as long as everything stays balanced.
Do
you can kill.
those higher rolls give us her alignment?
Her alignment typically is connected towards.
It kind of sounds neutral.
She is typically
Whoa.
leaning on the neutral evil side.
Neutral.
And that only Delson and Serenity would get that.
Yeah, I figure. I just wanted to
And
clear
how
that.
do you spell the name again? Is it D-A-I fall?
D-Y-F-A-L.
D-Y-F-A-L. I spelled that so wrong.
Die fall. Okay.
I spelled it. You want to hear? D-A-I-P-H-A-L.
She knew that you were gonna do some weird thing, so she just guessed the wrong weird thing.
So
Wrong way.
Seabreeze mentions this. Rain starts flipping through her book, and you can see Seabreeze has like this grin on his face afterward.
Things are fucking weird.
Rain, you're quick skimming through the book. You can only see mention of Diefall once. And that was there was some interaction Diefall had with the side trying to free the creatures. It looked like she had some involvement of helping Time's alignment get to where Ilios was, into the Blackened Tear.
Wait, she was responsible for getting him into the
She
Blackened
helped.
Tear.
It does.
Okay.
It's a child's book, so it doesn't give specifics, but it does mention that Diefall did use some of her divine capabilities to help find the way into the Blackened Tear for Time's alignment.
Rain will read this out loud to the group. She'll probably first read it in Elven and be like, oh, I need to not say that in just the pure language. And then she'll translate it into Common for everyone who doesn't speak Elven. And she'll probably read a little bit on little extra on each end of that story about them getting into the Blackened Tear and them getting to talk to Diefall.
Mm-hmm. It mentions just having to go on a quest off over into the west in order to get to find her. It doesn't really specify anything more than battled monsters and dived into ruins, things like that. Like very brief, small sentences, like the cliff notes of an actual adventure into their passage to Diefall.
Okay.
You're picking together story bits from somebody who's like, all right, we can't tell the truth of this story to children. Let's make it more pleasant and take out all the bad bits.
Hey,
Rain's
Brian,
probably just staring at this book and being like, I need more.
Just so I can maybe clear up some theories in my mind, where on the map is Shield Falls?
Shields Falls is over. Shields Falls is at the southernmost portion of Lake Zista, the whole Krulin's crater.
Uh-huh.
It's where the water of the actual lake flows out and travels down to the actual sea.
Okay, so it's not west or east, it's just straight south. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I was just trying to see if I was making a connection or not. I was not.
So that is all you guys get from there, and that's all the information you know as Seabreeze gives out this statement.
Why would someone bring a god to live among us?
I have no idea.
I can think of 3 good reasons.
Rain's gonna be like, well, shoot.
1, power. 2, control. 3, immortality. To name 3.
Well, yes.
I
Those are
think
3.
power and control are kind of the same thing.
Not necessarily.
No.
I would say you could have shitloads of power and not be able to control your power.
Anything.
Yeah.
You can lose yourself to power.
I really don't like how many weird people are showing up. It's really freaking me out.
Yeah,
Rain's
there's
now probably
something
gonna have her
else
other
going
notebook
on.
of other notes she has about what she's probably scribbled, not actually on the notebook, but like it's her notebook of new times alignment.
Yeah,
Since
I'm
apparently
definitely.
she's gonna have to write the fucking history for it.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go into more detail for Rain about the girl that we saw down in the pipeline.
Because she definitely needs to die.
Talk to her about how
Rain's gonna move to a different part of that notebook where she
Yeah.
has some information about Paul and begin adding more about
Yeah.
the contaminated.
Yeah, so
One day I'll write this all out instead of
I'll
it being in my head.
specifically mention how she said that she wants to undo the lock. And then she said all will eventually join the contamination. Cause that sounds real bad.
Rain's like, no, they won't. I won't let that happen.
And then because Andy is not a straightforward thinker, this is also going to make him remember what happened down there in the pipeline, that voice he heard. And he's going to, for a second, be like, and I heard a man tell me to run.
Could you recognize that voice?
Brian, did I recognize the voice?
You have not recognized that voice.
No, I've never heard it before.
Interesting. Rain's gonna move to a slightly different section of the voice that just says notes on Andy.
Yeah.
You can't see
Her
this notebook,
random
but that's the
voice.
section that says notes on Andy. Here's new voices. It's really
Couldn't
just a
read it if
list.
I tried.
What's funny is it's just a list of weird things that have happened to you recently. It's not very useful. It's more just Rain's like, this is interesting. I'll connect these dots later.
Yeah.
I have
I'll
time
also
on that
tell
one.
her about the things that she said specifically about Serenity and I, how she was eating people's fates, how she was eating souls. Or how that's what we think was in the jars based on how she was talking. She said that Serenity was dripping of an ever-changing fate. I feel like this is all sticking out a lot in Andy's mind because of how weird that interaction was.
Well, that's not that weird. She is a changeling.
No, I'm an incubus.
I know, but you're a changeling style breed, so Rain's just using generic terms.
Changeling is a.
And she said that I had.
I know it's a real breed, but I'm just saying you're one of the breeds that you're one of the species that can change their form at will.
Shapeshifter.
I had.
Yeah, sorry, that's a better term.
She said that I had 3 fates.
Well, that math
I don't know if
works.
she's right or wrong or.
Well, you technically would have had you'd be on your second fate right now because you had died and reincarnated.
We at least know 2.
I don't know.
And you keep feeling things are familiar
I don't know
separate
though,
of that, right?
because here's the thing, that's the same soul.
Yes and no.
I'm the same person that
Same
I was.
I
soul,
think
different
that's
body.
something you bring up to Carson, not us. I am not
Okay.
spiritual enough to help you on that one.
Also,
Though I will
she
note
could
it.
fucking fast. She could fly through her dagger.
Oh, that's fun. New powers that right in the little corner. Paul will get new powers he definitely should not have.
Because Andy was deeply unsettled by the fact that she almost caught up to him. Because he knows how fast he is.
Underneath that little note, Rain will write, "Stop Paul from getting weird powers." Question mark? Need to do.
Brian, out of curiosity, how the fuck did she catch up to us going up the stairs? Because there's no way that she threw the dagger.
You don't know.
No, she could. We have no idea. We didn't.
You also don't understand. She could move like a fluid because she is mainly acid at this point in her existence.
She was so gross. Definitely
Do you
through
describe...
this entire time. Yeah. During this entire time, Andy is using specific language. He's definitely shivering in between. He's definitely giving the word for word because of how impactful the situation is. And I think normally he wouldn't be able to remember details like this, but I think because of how freaked out he was, it's sticking in his mind.
Rain's gonna look at you, Andy, and be like, that means we need to save people from fate. Those people who are touched by it, we have to save them before they become this.
What if this thing isn't actually fate?
What else could it be?
Something trying to call itself fate?
Either way, they're called being touched by fate, so we need to stop whatever this
the thing that
entity is.
The thing that makes Andy say that is that I've the whole monastery believes in fate and karma and all that, and it's not like this.
Then maybe we need to talk to Carson.
Fate's not about destroying people.
Well, that's your interpretation of it. You don't know
it's
what
about
theirs
possibility.
Maybe
but
that's
if
what I
he
worry.
wants multiple possibilities, he might have been absorbing people's fates.
I don't think that absorbing people's fate makes you fate itself. I think
People
this is
like
just
to take
something trying to
words.
feel important.
We're going to need to look up more information. I'm going to guess nothing about fate's favors in my special book, is it?
This is just a gut feeling from Andy. I think that he, with his study at the monastery, knows enough about karma and about fate to say that this is not like if there was a god of fate, this is not how the god of fate would act.
Either way, we need to push back eventually.
I don't like it. And it
But
freaks me out that Paul is connected to it. We
need to slow
don't
Paul's
like it.
I
progress.
agree. Gods and magic have never been my forte, but I think Paul's in danger. I think a lot of people are in danger, and I think we need to keep a close eye on Paul.
Maybe normals will be able to talk some sense into him.
I think there's a lot more to this fate guy than we know.
Oh,
I don't
It would be
trust
nice
him.
if we could.
I don't think
It would
it is.
definitely
Just
be nice
seeing
if we
that
can
lady.
get into
Fate's favorite.
It definitely is not what it says it is.
Were we able to discern a race that this creature used to be when we were down there?
From its form, I mean, no. It looked humanoid-like, but its entire body was just blackened shadow and acid just moving together.
Yeah.
So it's lost its form.
It was so
in the form of a
inhuman that we
humanoid.
could not tell what race it was.
Rain's going to add that to her
Well,
continuing
yeah.
notes and be like,
Side note, away from you guys, more inhuman than that guy in Warrior's Rest looked.
I got that. But I don't have that information yet, Brian, so I can't work with it.
Yes, I'm just for
Also,
you as the
I want to so badly, but that can't be in Rain's notes because she knows nothing about that. When she learned about that, she's like, "Oh, interesting."
Did the white gown look like a wedding dress, Brian, or did it just look like a white dress?
It looked like a wedding dress.
Okay,
I'm going to mention that.
Okay, well, we get put in my notes. Oh man, one day I'm gonna have to actually make real notes.
I mean, I'm basically just telling you everything that's in my notes because I have all of this written down.
Oh, one day
I took so many notes last session because
Vicky, we're just gonna have to sit down. I'm going to make Rain's notes and add, and then I'm just gonna make that up and I'm gonna print it out.
It's
and I'm
gonna be all of my notes.
It's gonna be your notes, but I'm also gonna add because Rain writes notes. The way she kind of writes notes is she writes it but leaves a giant gap on the end. She stops writing earlier than you should, so that way she can add shit at the other corner. So her notes look completely chaotic, but make perfect sense to her, because they have notes in both margins.
Alright, at this time, you guys hear a knock, knock, knock on the wall behind and just moves the grate, and they're like, alright, we're here. And you guys can hear a light kind of thumping, kind of sound music in the background.
During all of this, has Serenity been doing my makeup, by the way?
Probably not. You guys have been having
you were
serious
too
talks.
You were too serious in the talk, and I wasn't gonna do your makeup while
Shit.
you were.
Okay, he pulls out a mirror and just quickly does the other half. He has a
no.
tiny little mirror from In his thieves tools kit, there's a tiny mirror in the thieves
I have a
tools
feeling
kit.
that Serenity would just help you when you got out.
I'm gonna just grab your hands like, I got you, girl.
I got you, girl. That's
hand it to
Elven man's talking about. He's like, you guys talk about weird things. The green gown flows through the water like a fish. Like,
oh yeah, because we were talking about theme camp this entire time in multiple languages. It sounded like fucking gibberish to this poor man.
You guys writing a story or something?
Like, no, I'm reading an old one, and I'll just show him the cover of the book and walk out. So that way, like, it can be a cover enough.
He's like, I remember hearing that, reading that as a child myself. It's a good, full of tall tales.
Rain's brain is like,
he's doing my makeup.
Rain's head is like, they're less tall than you think.
He turns to you, Seabreeze, and he's just like, well, you came here all the way from over the border. This time, probably, he looks over into the sides, something you guys can't see. From here, it'd be 9 gold, 6 silver.
I am going to pull out 8 gold pieces, flash them at him between my fingers, and make eyes at him to try to make a persuasion check and say, will you take this and a tip?
Roll a persuasion check at disadvantage.
Ooh, that's not bad. Okay, persuasion.
Ow.
Oh no, I will be doing your makeup.
Yeah.
Persuasion, right?
Yes.
Rain and Delson are done up.
17.
Well, we didn't have a house to go to.
Yeah, we were coming from somewhere where it would have been.
We've already been to a dinner.
I'll knock it down a gold, 8 gold, 6 silver. I can probably get some good patrons from this area, so I can make up the difference.
And I'll put in. I'll give you a little tip on a little bit, if you would like.
Oh, Rain's gonna like disgustedly walk away from you.
I give him 9 gold pieces because I don't want to split for the silver.
He takes it. He looks over at Serenity. He's just like, my wife wouldn't be fond if I took you up on that. He just closes the board afterwards. He's like, all right, out.
Good for him.
Okay.
At least he loves his
How
wife.
does my makeup look, Brian?
Serenity, roll a performance check.
Oh, she's good at those.
This is what I was waiting for.
I believe Serenity good at performance checks.
I saw how quickly Brian just came up. He's like, I got this.
Makeup check. Makeup check.
I would have laughed if he did a nat 1.
25.
Oh, wow!
It looks fantastic!
For
he even did some of your hair.
For a carriage ride makeup job, this is pretty good. Like, in between the bumps, like, there's no, like, stray marks that went off or anything.
I did it straight as in, like, the past 10 seconds of Seabreeze haggling.
Oh, yes, yeah.
We didn't do it in the carriage at all. We gave up on that.
Yeah.
We were busy.
Yeah, no, that it comes out. Andy, you look ready to party.
You look straight.
I'm so excited.
What, Callum?
Thank you, Serenity.
Actually, Delphin.
Anytime, my dear.
Can I hand you all of my shit so I don't look like a fucking arsenal walking into a club?
Take my makeup back.
The man with 30 swords, like, I have a problem. Oh no, we killed the DM! We killed the DM!
I'm so glad you actually brought that up, because I was just like, I was waiting for you guys to walk in with all your weaponry, and them being like, no.
Are you fucking stupid?
At least Andy can, like, hide his on his person, because they're small.
I'll say sure, and I'll
Okay, so I'm
open
going to
up
put
the bag. Everybody puts in their big weapons.
I'll unclip the bag of holding from my belt and I'll just hold it open for him.
I'm going to put my Sentinel Shield, Hurricane Breeze, all 3 of my daggers, my short bow, and my grappling hook underbarrel hand crossbow guy. But
I'm gonna continue.
I'm sorry. I've got one last thing. I'm keeping Fazozaz Shalud and I'm just having it as the sword hilt in my pocket.
A thing that you guys might not know about Andy is that he has a short bow. I'm gonna put my short bow, arrows, and short sword in the bag as well.
Okay.
You guys keep track of what you're putting in his bag of holding, just so you guys know. Anybody else putting anything away into his bag?
Rain's probably gonna put the fancy short sword in there because there's no reason to carry that in. The breastplate that's in her backpack.
I'm gonna put.
Imagine if he accidentally pulled the bag of devouring out.
Oh, I know.
I would not care if I got lost those 2 items. There's a reason Rain's not putting that much stuff in there, and she's gonna keep her crossbow, but she's gonna prep a small baggie from the extra baggie she has from stealing coins. She's gonna take one of the nicer ones out and put 20 gold in for the bouncer.
Oh, nice.
Hey, Andrew,
I'm gonna hide most of my weapons on my person.
Bye, Brian.
Yeah, and then she's gonna strap the little holster for that kunai to her hip. She's gonna raise up the dress a little bit, strap it to her hip, and strap the other 2 daggers to her other hip, to her other thigh.
Yeah.
And she's gonna keep her crossbow open and just be like, I don't give a shit. I'll put it down if I dance.
What did you
Yeah,
say,
I think Andy can probably pull like his waist hilt underneath his pants and pull his pants up over, and they're baggy enough that it doesn't show.
Yeah.
So that's his plan.
Alright, and the guy knocks one more time. He's like, "Hey, get out! I need to gotta get more people. Come on!"
You're still inside. Okay, we'll all get out.
Oh yeah, we weren't still inside. I thought we were out on the side of the road.
And he was doing the makeup in there, or sorry, he was doing Andy's makeup there while you guys were paying, and then you guys never said, "And we head out of the cart." So
okay,
well, we headed out of the cart.
Backpack in Delson's bag of holding.
Okay.
Basically, I look like a pirate in costume. And I have Fozozar Shalud. That's it.
Okay.
Love that concept that you're just a fucking pirate.
All right. As you guys step outside of Andrew, what were you saying? Sorry.
All of my weapons are in the bag of holding, and I'm just concealing my quiver under the cloak.
Okay. Because we don't want to send this poor cart driver to the Astral Sea.
Everyone in the sea.
That would be so good.
The driver just like
the horses too. Oh no. Just like 2 horses just drifting in the Astral
Sea. That was my plan. Go club and just create an opening into the Astral Sea.
It'll be the greatest party in history.
Oh my god. This city's been through enough, guys.
It's not even done yet!
The astral plane.
We still got 2 days of bullshit.
So as you guys head down outside the cart, you notice the change in attire from what you normally see of patrons walking around Zista City. More loose-fitted clothes mixed with wraps around appendages and flowy dresses of a different assortment of colors, some with frills, other with ridges. A lot more face-painted humanoids stumble through the alleyways, some with arms around lovers and some racing through the streets. I see a bunch of creatures who are wearing glowing steel bracelets that seem to shine of all the colors of the rainbow. There's not too many of them. They're every once in a while, but they seem, as you look around, seem to be more coming out of the club itself, out from the 2 exits on both of the sides themselves. And yeah, there's just all different tabaxis, elves, people looking like different beasts with different face paints on.
Do I see any Kenku?
Out of different ways. You do see some Kenkus walking through. It looks like almost like a flock of them kind of walking together into the club.
And he's just bouncing with excitement.
Can I join them? Like try to join them?
You're gonna try to join their group and sneak into the club, or are you just walking up with them instead of the group?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to sneak into the club. I'm so excited. I'm like, fuck yeah, let's do this. Let's go have fun.
So Seabreeze rushes away from the group to the other Kenkus. Seabreeze, roll a stealth check with disadvantage.
Oh, so fuck me.
I bet Andy has like 10 of those.
Seabreeze just sees the group, a flock of Kenku just walking together up the staircase leading into the club itself. Because as you guys do look up, you can see the entrance to the Rainbow Tabaxi. There's a staircase that's about 10 feet wide with a long purple carpet flowing down the center. It leads up to the 2nd floor where there's you can see 2 orcs that are dressed in deep green suits. standing at the top with their arms crossed. They stop people before they walk into the door, and you can see just a group of about 6 Kenku just walking up together, all crow black feathered like, walking up towards the bouncers themselves right now. And you see Seabreeze kind of just dart away and try to join up with them as they're getting to the staircase.
Okay, my stealth check is a 24.
24.
He's one of them.
No one seems to notice anything. You kind of just get behind the group, and they're all just kind of like laughing and squawking as they're looking. Some pushing to the
I'm
side.
going to start making the exact same noises they're making.
Okay, and you guys
Nice.
just see Seabreeze just fuck off with those Kenku.
Andy's so excited.
I'm gonna kind of push Serenity and Andy to begin walking in as the more whatchamacallit, what do you say? Flamboyant! That's the word I want.
Okay.
Group forward, and I'm gonna walk in with Delson.
I think for once, Andy is gonna take Serenity's arm because he's so excited to go in.
Okay.
Because
you guys walk up all first. The oh, go ahead, Common.
I was just gonna then probably me and Delson will probably walk in as the more seedy characters. Quote. Not meaning to, it's just how we're dressed. Black is a thing. We like that color.
Yeah. Whereas Andy's wearing like a bright green shirt. Or
yeah,
a forest
yeah.
green
You
shirt.
two will fit in and be let in instantly. Me and Delson are gonna have a talk with the fucking bouncer and pay them off. As we bring a literal arsenal of weapons into the. We're not gonna cause trouble. We're here to dance. But
we don't see anything. Well, we don't have anything visible on us.
Oh, I'm holding I have my crossbow on my side still. I didn't put it away.
Oh. Okay.
I'm not risking that shit. And Raven's gonna be like, I'm not risking that shit.
Understand.
All right. As
That's what the pouch of 20 gold's for.
Kenku starts walking up, the 2 orcs are at the door with the door closed. They look down to the group of all of them and be like, "All right, so you all getting in? It's about 5 gold admittance each. It's a busy night." And all the Kenku just start reaching out and handing 5 gold to the guys. They just take it and put it in a pouch.
We can say we're guests of the Baroness.
It gets over to you, Seabreeze, and as the 6 Kenku that were in front of you kind of started walking in, it's your turn, and they hold a hand out towards you.
While all of them were handing gold, like, as they took their coin purse out, like, I want to have pickpocketed the one right in front of me.
I knew that's what you were going to do.
Hand check with disadvantage.
Oh my god.
When did Seabreeze get arrested?
That wouldn't be the worst thing ever, honestly. It'd be kind of funny.
It'd be very in character.
Hey, that's fucking great. It's a 17.
17. So as they're getting from the first couple Kenku, you kind of just sneak into the pocket and grab some gold. You do get 5 gold out from his pouch. As it gets to him in line, he kind of reaches into his pocket. He's just like, looks around. He's just like, and the bouncer's just like, "Well, you don't have 5 gold on you?" And he's just like, "Oh, one moment, one moment." And his friend who's at the door, he's just like, "You always do this." And he just pulls out gold and hands it to the bouncer. He's just like, I could have swore. And they walk into the club afterwards together.
I feel like a dick, but I didn't have 5 gold.
And then the bouncer looks down to you afterwards and be like, 5 gold?
I'll hand him the 5 gold I just took from him.
Thank you. He looks at your person.
I'm also.
Like, if you have any weapons or ammo, leave them in the coat check up around the corner. Enjoy.
Absolutely, thank you.
And he definitely has 5 gold in hand because he's been here before.
And you know.
Oh no! I'm gonna tell you to put it away.
Bouncers, Andy.
Okay.
Also,
as you are going up, Andy, you do know both of the bouncers. The one on the left, his name is Jim Chaw, Jimchaw. And the one on the right, his name is Groutee, Groughttee. You can nickname them.
Grouthee?
Groughttee. Groutee.
Ghtee. Okay.
They're in deep green suits. You can see Jim Chaw. He has slightly bigger tusks than Groutee, and Groutee actually has his left tusk a little bit broken off and a scar down his cheek on one side.
I like wave and I go, "Hey Jimmy, hey Groutee."
He's like, "Andy, it's been a few nights. What have you been up to?"
Oh, the usual.
Definitely not.
Found someone to enjoy the night with, have you? And points to Serenity.
Oh, she's my friend.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's doing the whole like.
Roti.
Are you being overly flirty, Brian?
Ma'am, how do you do?
Oh, I'm fine. Been a lovely night. Gonna have a lot of fun in this one.
Oh, well.
I'm gonna hand over the 10 gold.
Aw.
Thank you. And, yeah, you know the drill, Andy, but Serenity, just any weapons or ammo, leave in the coat check on your way in, okay?
Of
You
course.
got it.
And Brian, I think me and Delson would let a couple people go in front of us before we'd follow behind Andy and Serenity. And I also want to whistle for my Raven right before we get into line.
Okay.
Let's see if Pitch shows up.
I'm going to whisper to Rain, I don't have any gold.
We're going to say we're comparing. Well, besides that, the Rain's about to pay off the fucking bouncer. Even though she's gonna give an answer, so we don't technically wouldn't have to pay. I'm like, we're just going to say that we're oh crap, companions of Baroness. I forgot her name again.
Vojo Variana.
Vojo. That's why I can't remember it. Never gonna happen, Brian.
Just remember, Vojo Jojo.
We're going to say we're companions of Baroness Vojo Barianis. See where that gets us. And Rain's gonna shake the thing of gold. Realize you don't have any gold. Open it. Add another 10. And we're going to hand them this.
Okay.
All right, and as Andy and Serenity walk in, you guys are all gonna get your entrances at separate times, basically, but just one thing at a time. A few other guests do walk in ahead of you, Rain and Delson, and you guys get up, and they're just like, "Good evening. You guys coming in? It's 5 gold per person."
Yes, we're companions of Vojo Varianus. She went to the booth.
And they're looking like.
We're both very well dressed right now, by the way.
Yeah,
for once,
yeah,
we're
you
like.
guys came from your dinner with your.
Yeah, we're both very well dressed.
Roll
But that might be throwing them off too.
Can I give her advantage?
Do you say or do anything to give her advantage after she says we're guests of Vojo Variana?
I don't know what to say.
But Vojo did actually.
You don't just give them advantage by being there. So.
Yeah, it's fine.
That's fair.
What did you say? It was persuasion. That's a 16.
16. They're like, well, I did see the Baroness walk in earlier. If you are part of her guests for the night, you should have a suite already ready for you all, but there's still an admittance fee.
I understand.
5 gold per person.
And Rain takes up the sack of 30.
Takes in, he looks and he's just like, he looks back at you.
Forget we are here, and Rain walks past, just with very deep confidence.
Roll one more persuasion check with advantage because you tripled the admittance fee.
Yeah, it's like, I'm handing them 30 gold.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's triple. Oh, nat 20! So that's 22.
Yeah.
They just take it and just put that in, and she's just like, enjoy your night. And just turns back to everyone else.
So it's my Raven en route. I need gold some more. I don't need a lot more gold. I have tons of it.
You look around before you enter. You don't see your Raven right now. But
Darn.
You did signal, so maybe your Raven at some point will come and just be like, where the fuck is she?
Imagine it would probably wait on the roof or whatever.
Probably.
It'd
be very funny if after I walked past it, the Raven had just landed on my shoulders. I walked in and they'd be like, the bird needs to pay!
As you guys all enter
I didn't have to pay for Lucky, so no.
Yeah, the Lucky just was around your shoulder. They didn't question it with you.
Yeah.
Andy, you could have gotten in for free if you tried hard enough.
Upon entering, you guys, as soon as you go through the doors, there's a wall and it immediately starts turning to the right. And what you do notice about the wall is there's just, on the first one, as far as you see it, you don't see anything, but you see a slight glow to the right. All of the walls have little arcane sigils that do, everybody roll an Arcana check as you're walking in the door.
Oh yeah, I'll do great at that.
That was...
Not terrible, actually.
11!
Mine's a 14.
13.
6?
6.
So Serenity, you actually are the only one who doesn't know.
Not a
DC
fucking
wasn't
clue.
that high. All of these sigils do indicate the light cantrip have been cast on there. They're all in different luminescent colors that shift fluidly, almost like little splatters across down the wall. You can see as every Seabreeze, you start entering in with Wet Hands, just confusedly walking around. He walks through walls at times, just like looking around and everything. These times you do lose track of him. But all the Kenku do line up until there's a section. Before it goes around the corner, there is a door with like a stand over it, and you can see this satyr girl, her orangish hair kind of up in pigtails and slight little horns. She does look like she's taking everybody's the Kenku's things and kind of putting it back, and you can see her kind of leave a little bit of a sigil on like a little padded notebook and the item before she stores it back. There are some people, the people in between your group that Rain let in, they do pass by. They didn't seem like they had anything to do a coat check, and they go around the corner. And you guys all are in a line together now. Seabreeze, Andy, Delson, and Rain, and
I don't go to coat check.
Sorry, Andy.
I'm gonna put some stuff together for
Rain,
coat
Delson
check
behind.
because I think Andy has been here so many times that he knows he can trust the coat check people. So
And
he's
not
gonna
coat checking jack shit.
He's gonna have a separate pack for like stuff that he wants to keep on him. So he's gonna keep like his thieves' tools, his water skin, his tennis ball, the fancy string, the hacky sack, the brass knuckles, like all of his fancy stuff that he wants to keep with him. He's gonna keep with him, but most of his normal stuff is going into the pack that he's handing over.
Okay. And as Seabreeze is the first one to go up there, as the other 6 Kenku go off a little bit, they still haven't noticed you just trying to blend in. You're kind of just like staying just a distance away that they don't notice you, but close enough that everybody thinks you're part of their group.
Yep.
And the satyr woman is just like, hey, anything you want to store over here? Anything you need to put away? Weapons, jackets, anything like that?
No weapons. No, and I just walk off.
Oh, okay.
Just kind of just walks away.
She gives like a slight wave, and then she's like, "Oh, Andy, hey, nice to see you again."
I have no intention.
Her name is Amaree, Amaree.
I'll say, "Hey, Amaree," and I'm gonna give her like my special pack that I've constructed to hand over.
And you can see she just kind of waves her hand over a little bit. You can see the traces from her hand.
I probably take off my cloak and put it in there too.
And these lines do connect these sigils all together before they do vanish. And she's like, "It'll be safe as usual. Anything for you, miss?"
I'm just gonna hand her over the short sword that I completely forgotten that was on my hip.
What's your name?
Serenity.
And she around the sword as well. She's like, "It'll be kept safe. I do my job well."
She's very trustworthy. I have never lost a single thing. And that's impressive.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Andy. I do appreciate it, Andy.
I would not have stood in this line.
Hear the music getting a little bit louder as you guys are getting closer, and she's just like, enjoy your night.
I'm sure I will. You too. Like,
well, it's part of the admittance line. Like, you have to get through the line to get into the building.
Mm-hmm. And then Delson and Rain, do you guys stop, or she approaches? She's like, "Anything you have to store?" She doesn't like stop you, but like she does say to every guest to see.
No, thank you. Clearly has a backpack. Clearly has
I'll just say no and keep walking.
Enjoy your night. She puts out, and then she meets you with the next guest.
Dancing with a backpack fucking sucks. So
she's not dancing with a backpack.
His backpack over.
Rain's not gonna dance with a backpack. She's gonna leave it in the booth, but
whatever.
You guys can see there is a
no intention. I have weapons on me.
I still have my brass knuckles.
As you guys do get around the corner, you do see there is a slight line that goes to the end of the hall. You can see all these different luminescent glows just changing and shifting color on the wall. And there seems to be a table at the end that people do line up to. You guys are all in this line next to each other, just in different orders. So if there's anything you guys want to talk about before, and you can. Otherwise, it'll take about probably 5 minutes or so to get to the table.
And he's probably just like talking Serenity's ear off about how good the music people are, the musicians.
You can feel, all of you can feel almost like with each beat of that bass, you can feel like in your bones a little bit, just a little reverberation in your body.
He's like.
It seems like it's gonna be a lot of fun in there.
Andy, you can feel Zolo like just shifting with each beat on your skin.
Oh, by the way, I definitely kept the hourglass on me, by the way. I did not put that in the fact that I gave her.
Surprisingly, Lucky doesn't seem disturbed by all these loud noises.
Huh.
Seems
a party cat.
Still pretty calm on your neck.
Wait, I'm a party cat.
Yes, you are.
All of Andy's realizations. But yeah, as you guys get to the end of the table, you can see people walking off with these different glowing objects and stuff. Some of them with rings, and other of them with like these toy fake swords and shields and like
these
little
cost money from Andy's
like
recollection.
They're merch.
I probably have so many at the monastery, but I always forget to wear them when I come back, so I keep buying more.
Well,
and you guys get up to the table. You can see the only one you do recognize, Andy, is the orange-haired tabaxi man that seems to be behind, not directly at the counter, but he seems to be like just kind of sitting over off to the side next to a staircase that goes up to the VIP area. This person, he kind of seems a little out of it, and he has green tinted glasses on. You can see just the normal workers you don't really recognize trying to sell things to people. Do you go up to rent? All of you guys, Seabreeze, Andy, Serenity, where do you guys go up to?
I would try and stealthily whisper to Andy, because it's been a while since I've been here, probably, because we probably went when we were little ones. But Rain probably hasn't been to Rainbow Tabaxi in years.
Probably not, yeah.
And we asked Andy, who do we speak to get into the VIP area?
Oh, right here. Merle.
See, because I wouldn't know that initially.
So that was the thing. Seabreeze was going straight to the VIP area to go and persuade someone to let him in.
So you had
we are guests of
asking that question to Andy. Seabreeze just darts away from the merch table. So like as the guests kind of move and he was next in line, all the other Kenku start walking off. Seabreeze just diverts over to this that section of over near that staircase. And as you're walking up towards the door, that's slightly ajar, where you can see the staircase from VIP written on the wall. And you see Merle kind of just puts a hand on it and says like, hey, you can't be going up there. What, you have general admittance. You gotta get the deluxe package, baby, if you want to get upstairs.
I cock my head and just in a quizzical tone, I'm like, deluxe package?
Oh yes, you need to rent one of the suites. Now that comes with some serious
probably walk up at this point and I'm like, Merle, we actually have a suite already. And I lean up against the wall.
And Merle for a second, he's cocked for a second, almost like it's taking a second for his brain to put everything together, and he's just like, Andy, you have a place up there right now? When'd you do that? I didn't see you purchase anything.
Well, we're guests of the Baroness, actually. And I wink. I can't wink, but
I'm gonna wink as well.
It's like, no shit, you got in with Vojo, and how'd you swing that?
I just gestured to my personhood.
I swing it.
Looks over you
okay.
Yeah, Serenity swung.
He looks over and just like, now I would understand that, and points over to Serenity, and he's just like, but Andy, I didn't think that was quite up your style, the Baroness.
Andy,
my style, but I mean,
but the Baroness is up to Andy's style.
So this right now is Serenity, Seabreeze, and Andy. Rain and Delson, have you walked up with them as well?
No, we're probably gonna do it separately.
Okay. And he's just like,
sure.
He's like, all right, well.
Just because we walked into separate groups, I don't want to cause we can meet when we're on the dance floor. That's not weird.
Well, no, if we're in the line and you know you're going to the VIP anyway, you could be heading up that direction.
We might be nearly behind you, probably.
Yeah.
Because there's a gap of a couple people between us.
There isn't to go to the VIP lounge.
Okay.
In like people at the merch table, and then they walk off to go to a staircase down the hall that kind of
Okay,
leads
so
down.
we're probably just
There's
standing
several
just a
rooms
hair
off to the
behind you.
side.
A little bit after I asked the question while we were in line, probably I'm just
Yeah.
standing a bit behind you, waiting,
And he's just like,
looking
"Oh, well,
bored,
looks like
actively looking bored. Like I'm
Looks like
waiting
you're
for you
getting-
people to finish the conversation.
Well, looks like you're getting in with some big players again, Andy. You going back into your ways? I heard about your fight the other night.
I mean, a little
And
bit.
he's like, oh no.
just some fun.
Oh, well, here.
We'll have to
give
have
out-
our fun in one way or another.
He's like, here, give out your hands.
My hand.
I'm
I
gonna
also
do the
give
whole
out my hand.
flamboyant, like, here you can kiss my hand kind of thing.
He's like, Andy, it's interesting seeing you going up to the VIP suite. I don't think I remember ever seeing you getting an invite up there.
I don't think I have, no, but I mean,
If we have, we got
First time
there
for
illegally.
everything.
He starts waving his hand over yours, the claws coming at times, almost kind of like hitting your fur a little bit. And as he does this, you can see. Just want to make sure I get the color right. As you do this, you can see a circle starts forming around your hand. The circle in the fur, like it almost is almost like a stamp, kind of just magically being imprinted on the back of your hand, and it's just a perfect circle, rainbow colored, with a number 5 on it, and it looks almost like a rainbow colored stone. And then goes over to Seabreeze, over onto their feathers, does the same thing, and over to Serenity.
Does it remind me at all of the chaos fragments?
I mean, it's a rainbow-colored circle, so I mean, in a way.
Okay. Andy thinks he's come up with a good theory.
I know you have.
And he's just like, all right, well, as you can see, number 5, they've been here for about a half hour or so. I'm sure the pod's probably pretty interesting up there right now. So enjoy. And he steps to the side and kind of with a bow.
Oh, I'm waiting for where I walk into an orgy where I intend to plan to work on stuff.
I'll definitely do my best. I head up the stairs.
And Seabreeze, Andy, and Serenity all head up the stairs as the door closes. Merle
He
kind of
takes a deep breath of, like, just to settle himself because he knows he's gonna be weirded out really soon.
Merle stretches a little bit as he closes the door, not all the way, just with a little hair opening, and he just sees Rain and Delson just there looking at him. He's just like, "Oh, you guys interested in getting a room up top?"
I already have one. Rain's gonna speak in a more formal accent, to like a wealthier accent this time, closer to her normal accent.
Okay. And he's just he holds up his wrist. He's just like, I don't see any signs.
We are guests of Vojo Varianus.
He looks at you and he just looks at the door, like.
Did she invite more guests and not tell us? That's quite rude of her.
She's just like, no, I'm sorry, am I deja vu? I just had another group right there who said they were going up to see Vojo. You as well.
Yes. How interesting. I guess we all arrived at the same time. Now that was an accident.
Roll a persuasion check. He believes Andy without any hesitation because he knows Andy pretty well.
Yes.
That's fair.
Persuasion is a 19.
19.
Rain is being smiley and charismatic.
I've also never tried to go up there before, so.
Well, we've probably been there like once, but we definitely like snuck in.
Definitely.
And he let us in.
He's like, all right, just want to make sure I don't want to get any Baroness's
I understand.
And he's just like, Tony, go up and just see if the Baroness was expecting more guests. And you can see this human boy kind of with like almost like hand prints on both of his cheeks in black, just gets up and he's just like, yeah, I'll be. And he goes up the staircase and it disappears. He's just like, it'll be just one moment if you want to wait around. There's some rooms around here if you're interested, but I don't know if you two are. And he looks at you with 2 fingers back and forth.
Me and Delson kind of stand there and look at him. unimportant right now.
Hey. Alright, just what thought I would offer. There's
Though
rooms around for
publicly, we are now going to be officially dating according to all of the city of Zista, very shortly.
I'm just gonna have my hood up, and I'm just gonna look ominous.
It's so funny that I'm doing all the speaking.
He's just sitting against the door and just look. He has green tinted spectacles on that he's just kind of like looking at you both all. His eyes are very squinted. Roll insight checks, the two of you.
Okay.
Oh, he's high as a kite.
Oh, probably. 16.
Ooh, I in insight. You said
yes.
Dirty 20.
Yeah,
Nice.
He's high as a kite right now.
I imagine it's not hard to get high as a kite at this place.
She's like, I understand. We'll step to the side while you do the rest of your job.
All right, and Andy, Seabreeze, and Serenity, you guys head up the staircase. It's only one flight of stairs up and then back before it does get to the.
I would recommend you guys be like, yeah, they're behind us somewhere. That'd be a good choice to say to the Baroness if you see her.
Hey, Brian.
Yes.
Go up the stairs.
Is it weird that every time I picture Seabreeze moving, I picture him like scuttling along the wall like a spider?
What?
That's a little bit weird.
That is a little weird. That sounds like more of a Naresh thing to do.
Kel, that is a Naresh thing right there. Just walking on the wall.
Character.
I know, but I wish that I feel like it's more of a Seabreeze thing to do.
Well, you walk up normally, leaving a slight
he uses the fucking stairs like a fucking schlep.
Andy's definitely taking the stairs 2 at a time because he's impatient.
And as you guys get upstairs, as you guys do get upstairs, the music is just bumping in here, reverberating off of the walls itself. As you guys look in, you can see a purple velvet covered rug that just fills this whole open floor that seems to have 10 white pods that have been just smeared with different sigils in random different spots, giving off glows in all different colors at different times, lining the floor until the back corner where you can see the thaumaturgist. It does seem like there's like a band that is creating the music right now, spells going off with actually some DJs, not DJs, some bouncers that are right next to them. There's no DJs, they're thaumaturgists. And you guys can see each of the pods are labeled with almost in some sort of like spray paint design, each numbers on the front. And you guys look at your hand, you can see 5. You guys see walking the floor, scantily clad people of different races and genders just walking around, holding drinks, carrying food at times, going into knocking on some of these pods. And you can see like the entrances glow gold for a second before opening up, and then they walk in.
I pick like a random person to wink at.
You can see
just for fun.
There is one woman. She does appear to be of a tiefling descent. She is red-skinned. Longhorns back. She turns and she gives you a wink back and a little kiss as she walks into pod number 1.
She's gonna try and sleep with you later.
And
good luck.
Andy definitely just goes, yes.
You can see one person behind you with black face paint, fingerprints across his face, walk up and go, excuse me, goes in between you guys and heads over up to pod number 5.
Oh.
Rude!
Okay. I just like follow after him.
Oh, hey,
I'm gonna sit on the velvet floor and probably like wait for Delson and Rain.
Okay.
He definitely likes the texture of the velvet on his feet.
So
100%.
He's slowly doing the foot grab things with his toe beans.
And this is different than what you normally see, Andy. Andy, you're used to the open floor, which is the floor down below where everybody's there. There's not people just openly on the floor here. It seems like most of the traffic you see on this floor are the workers who are just walking around, carrying things into different pods itself. It's a pretty open space right now for what's going on. And Seabreeze kind of just sits down waiting for Rain and Delson. What do you, Andy, did you say you go towards pod 5?
I was going towards the door.
Serenity, to you as well?
Yes.
Okay, so as Seabreeze sits there waiting for Rain and Delson.
So if anyone asks, he goes, look, I got the thing. Look at
you see this man kind of knock on pod number 5, and the door does magically open, and he sticks his head, and he's just like, you can hear as you're approaching. Milady, are you expecting guests today? And you can hear her voice come out. Oh, of course, thank you. I was waiting for them to arrive. You can send them right. And then Andy, you appear right behind at that time with Serenity.
Andy,
like,
you're gonna inconveniently.
wonderful! You were able to make it. I am so glad your friends gave the invite over to you as well. Oh, and you as well, Serenity. Come right in. Come right in. And
Oh, yeah, 'cause you guys weren't there.
Andy wasn't there with the invite.
I wasn't
Serenity
there.
was.
Yeah.
And Tony, the guy, is just like, oh, so I guess they're here. And he kind of backs out and he walks back downstairs.
Why did you not stop him?
Andy goes, oh, there should be more coming, I think. To the guy.
The Baroness is like, oh yes, there should be a few more coming. 1, 2, there should be maybe 4 others who should be coming as well. And he's like, right, okay, I think they're waiting. Paul's not here.
Oh yeah, I always forget Paul exists.
I don't forget these things. I'm right. I know.
That's a lie. You totally forgot Paul existed when we talked to the Liberator, and we're like, "Hey, what's Paul doing?" Oh fuck, Paul.
Side note: I was like, "Yes, Paul is doing his own things right now. I don't need to remember him for this session." But yeah, he heads off, and Baroness is like, come in, and you guys step inside this pod. You can see Otto sitting in one of the corners as well. What you guys do see in here, this is what you know is called a blooming bud. This is what they're called up here, Andy. It's a velvet circular couch with a large table in the center, littered with different drinks and foods that have been torn through at this time. You can see different colored liquid vials and drinks all covering the table. And Otto is sitting in the corner right next to Vojo with his arm around. And one thing you notice is this is Vojo. She doesn't have any like face paint or anything on. You see her pure Aasimar skin, her normal hair color right now, which you guys can tell it's actually silvered and kind of long. Her short nose, and she's got these brilliant, brightly colored eyes. She actually looks pretty beautiful in this form.
And
this
normal.
Is you're seeing her natural. She's wearing a very open chest dress right now that doesn't have any straps. It seems to be a silverish white kind of mixture together.
Who is this again?
This is Vojo Veriana.
Okay.
And they're like, please take your seats.
He's definitely kind of surprised to see how pretty she is because he kind of associates her with the feeling of disgust. And so he's just kind of like, oh.
And Vojo kind of like to the seat next to her, to you, Andy.
Oh.
I will.
I wanted to sit there.
Oh, do you say that?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, of course, Serenity here. But Andy, do stay close.
Andy, I don't want to. I feel dirty.
Oh, right. I think Andy knows that there's probably some amount of negotiation that might happen tonight, and it might go better if I'm helping. So I will.
Andy,
go close
for
to
the
her.
future,
And
it's sister crying.
To me. I swear I'll.
Okay. I'll sit next to Serenity.
I'm waiting for Serenity to immediately pinch Andy's butt and be like, "Why?"
No, we had a bonding experience.
Yes.
That does not.
I'm gonna whisper
Hmm?
in your ear. I'll keep you safe as I caress down your back. This is just a game. It's completely like I'm definitely doing it stealthily.
Okay.
The whispering.
You can see as she does sit down, she's like, would you guys like any of Thaumaturgist's Passion or Druidcraft's Intuition?
Do I know what those do? If I've been here before?
This is going to be a hard DC, but roll either a history or an Arcana check.
Oh, these are the fancy
Those
drinks that only the
same.
special people are allowed.
That is a natural
nat
one,
20.
Brian!
What'd you get, Brian?
Nat 20.
That one!
Serenity's never been here!
-1.
Okay.
Serenity, who's never been to this place, is like, oh yeah, I know.
Andy, you're kind of like Thama Druid. What? Like you don't say it, but that's what your thoughts right now. And Serenity, you do know these have started coming around your brothel at times. Not too many of them because they are still rare, but they are a breed of magic potions that do temporarily give you the abilities of thaumaturgy and druidcraft.
I will definitely be taking them.
Both.
Do you tell Andy
Vojo's
what
like-
they do?
Vojo's like, oh, wonderful. Any for you, Andy.
What do they do?
Oh, and she kind of gives like a quick chuckle underneath. And one thing I do want to also note is you can still hear the thumping of the music, but it's very like almost kind of contained. You can
Deafened?
see above you the bloom of the budgerin is open, and the music can only come here. It's pretty soundproof, other than the music coming in from there. So you
Ooh,
don't
good
have to
place to
shout
murder
like you
people.
are outside.
Interesting.
And
Huh?
she kind of
What?
giggles, and she's like, "Oh, you're adorable. It's everything that everybody's talking about in the magic community going on right now."
I'm not in the magic community.
Well, keep it a little
I'll tell her
hush-hush.
what it does.
And she's like, "Oh, keep it a little hush-hush." But yes, Serenity, do enlighten him.
And I'll explain the two
Pronouns
versions.
are hard when you're playing characters that are different sex than you.
That's fair.
And
I like
So
this
it's thaumaturgists
rom-com.
what and druids what? I forgot what the second is.
Thaumaturgy's passion and druidcraft's intuition. And she presses a button on the wall, and she's just like, "Oh, we'll have somebody deliver them over shortly." At
Oh,
this
man.
time, you can see Seabreeze. You see the man walk past you and kind of nods his head at you. He's just like, "Evening," as he walks down the stairs.
Andy with the
Doesn't
ability
care.
to cast spells. Oh man.
He comes down at the bottom of the staircase and opens the door, and he goes through. Merle, yeah, they're expecting a few other people. The 2 are already up there. He said 4 other in total. And Merle's just like, so you're 2 of the 4 then. Or should we
Seems
expecting
so.
the other 2 to be coming?
I do not know where they are.
Rain trying to put the math in her head, like 3 went up there. Where
Rain is like, okay, Windows was up there, so that means they just did a bad job counting. She's like, someone up there's math is fucking wrong, because I did the math right. And she's like, and we don't know what Paul is, so it's irrelevant. So I'm like, I do not know when the last ones will be attending, just to make it so she doesn't have to have an argument that there's one more person up there.
Mm-hmm. He's just
It's not worth it.
Very well, give out your hands. And you can see on both you, Delson, and Rain, he does start casting his spell that ends up implanting almost a mark on the back of your hand. A perfect circle, rainbow colored with the number 5 on it. It's
Thank
just
you.
like, give my
Is that-
regards to the Baroness.
And that's for
Absolutely.
both of us?
But yes, both of you get it on your hand. It's your VIP access.
And we will
This is
walk
good for
up.
Andy because he will definitely want to go to the open floor later on, and so now he can go back up later.
Yeah. All right. So at this point, he opens the door for you guys. You guys head upstairs, and you guys see the same thing: the velvet-covered floor, the loud music thumping throughout the room in the different colors, the white pods built up with different colors sprayed across them in numbers, and scantily dressed creatures of all different races walking around. And to your immediate left, you see kind of sitting against a wall at the top of the staircase, Seabreeze.
Seabreeze,
Oh,
why
I
are you
like-
sitting here?
I just wave at you and smile and stand up super fast.
And Wet Hand is
Were
just
you
like,
waiting
"It is
for
way
us?"
too-" Wet Hand is
Yeah.
just you. He's the whole time. He's just like, "It is way too fucking loud in here, matey."
I'm gonna turn to Wet Hand and I'm gonna be like, "Do you need to leave? Do we need to leave?"
I can handle some sea shanties, so I'll just walk through the wall if it gets too much.
Start fucking up shit in the other room. You can end up in one of their pods and be like, oh wow, this is an interesting place.
He's
True,
really
he could go into the
throwing
other
songs where
VIP
you
rooms
pass
and
at
like
people.
spy for us.
Oh man, he can.
Yeah, he can. He can
So
I
what
don't
you
know
guys
if
do
he's
as you
gonna
see
want
Seabreeze
to.
at the top.
Well, I asked why are you waiting? Did you wait for us?
Yeah,
Well, that's kind.
That's so
Oh.
sweet.
I was gonna come get you if that useless little kid didn't come get you.
No, that would have sucked and made it much harder for the night.
Aw, Tony.
Yeah, I was about to say, does Andy know Tony? I doubt it. 'Cause
No,
he didn't
no.
mention it. Okay,
Tony's new.
that's okay.
Tony
He's a good
bumped
kid.
into me and Andy. He deserved to be called
He
useless.
said sorry.
He still did it. He could have waited or said excuse me or gone around.
I love how little, like, the smallest thing that happens inconvenient or rude to Seabreeze, he's just like, fuck fuck you. I'm gonna get you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna light you on fucking fire.
He literally
has
is
a
every
short
like.
temper.
Nora yelled at them because they woke her up, and he set her desk on fire.
Temper this long.
No, seriously, he is like everything about me that I wish I could like be able to just vent.
All right,
So I'm venting it.
So Seabreeze, you guys get up. Do you guys walk over to pod number 5?
Yep.
Are any of the other pod doors open?
No, you do see them every once in a while as somebody comes to knock on the door to see them bring drinks and stuff. It kind of, they knock and you see the goldish light kind of makes the outline of a door and then it opens to the side. And they
I want to know if there's a secret knock to get in or if you have to be like an employee.
Employee or thing.
Roll a perception check as you're walking through.
At least that's my assumption.
Disadvantage.
Yes.
Oh, that's so terrible. Okay, I got a 9.
9.
You really can't make out any types of patterns or anything. You don't see anybody with the things on their hands go into a room at this time. It just seems to be like employees. But they all knock at different amounts. Some of them carrying trays at a weird angle and knocking up on the door. Some of them just bottles. Some of them not carrying anything at all. They're just kind of like prettying themselves up beforehand.
Serenity knows who they are.
I'm gonna wait for everyone to go into pod 5, and then I'm gonna do something.
You're not gonna do anything to tell us, like, I'll be a second. Nothing?
Yeah, no, I might say that to Rain, actually, just to, like, make sure she doesn't come and
look for you.
Fuck with my plan.
Man, my ears are getting squished.
Okay, so you guys all head over towards pod number 5.
Rain will say back to him, don't get into any real trouble.
I'm going to hold up 3 feathers on one hand and cross my fingers on my other hand behind my back. Because I can't make any promises.
Rain doesn't believe... Rain knows that. She's just advising you, if you're going to get in trouble, make sure it's minor. Because so far, the trouble you've gotten into has helped us once and got you killed the other time.
Both times. That's fair. I'm going to pull you aside then. I want to go in one of those pods and check it out.
Rain's like, absolutely. I want to know who's here tonight.
Okay, so you condone this course of action?
As long as you don't get caught.
If I get caught, I'll make a good excuse.
Good plan.
All right.
Go for the drunkard. It's easiest. There's enough people.
I have a good ally for getting in and out. And also, I think if I do get caught, I might just play the No Habla Español card.
It's No Habla Elfin.
No Habla Common.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a lie.
Rain's also gonna be like, you could play the drunk stumbling around and you lost which pod you're in.
Good point.
Too drunk to read numbers.
Yeah, it happens. People get fucking wasted in here and go on all the drugs in history in this fucking place.
That's
Rain's
true.
been here. She's been very high here.
I think still has Andy, to be honest.
Back when we were dumb elven, like half-elf kids, we came here and got very high.
Delson, did you go inside or did you wait for Rain and when Seabreeze to finish this conversation?
I waited with Rain.
Okay.
Then we'll go inside. We're doing everything together. It's kind of weird.
Rain and Delson are walking towards the pod. You see a woman carrying several bottles. They're actually like the cylindrical bottles with a cork on the top over on a tray towards pod number 5. And they're like, it's that awkward, like, who's gonna try to open the door kind
Rain
of
steps aside for the help.
Oh, you called them the help. That's high in society of you.
It's high in society, but she was polite to them. That's what they get.
They knock on the door, and you can
She's
see
a weird brain.
Open up. As it does open up, you guys see the same sight as before with Vojo, Otto, Serenity, and Andy sitting in the back end. They all walk in, and Vojo's like, "Oh, wonderful! The drinks have. Oh, and more of our guests. Thank you. Come in.
I will walk in with Rain.
Okay, I'm gonna probably walk in first, and I'll scoot not next to Otto, but with a good gap.
Mm-hmm. And as everything, so you sit next to Otto, but with a distance, and Delson right next. The woman comes over and walks in front of where Vojo is, and kind of just places probably about half, I'd say 10 vials on the table itself. And she's just like, "You're a peach, thank you," and kind of like gives her a little tap on the way out.
It's how much crap is on this table.
You can see bottles of a lot of bottles of liquor. There seems to be things from rum to vodka and things like that.
Is they empty or are they full?
Some of them are empty. Some you can see in glasses that are half filled. Some of them you can see that have definitely drank from. So you can tell Vojo and Otto have probably started their drinking already. Some of them do have the hints of color that you do see inside these ones, which you see it's almost like a blend of greenish, brown, orange in some of them, and another one that's like purplish and blue, just kind of swirling around inside the bottled liquid.
Interesting.
And she walks outside the door.
Just for Otto's knowledge, because I know he has the like surface level thoughts thing.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing. You guys all feel super comfortable in this room now.
There's certain moments where Andy's mind definitely has flashes of the woman from the pipeline. Just
actually, this is a good thing to talk about.
He does not have enough control over his thoughts because he's still a little bit frazzled. There's like flashes of the scene from the pipeline, flashes of his bedroom, flashes of the storm from last night, just like a slew of stuff that's just going through Andy's head because he's thinking about all of the stuff that recently happened.
Mm-hmm.
Flashes of Vojo
What are you
as
doing,
like
buddy?
a Tabaxi.
Yeah.
And as you guys can see also too.
Yeah.
No. Seabreeze, you do notice this as you're starting to walk away. You do see the Leonin that is Vojo's knight walks in, kind of bumps into you and be like, "Oh, hey, little buddy," and kind of just no other regard other than that. Kind of just and walks on.
This is the world's
either fucking guard now, Brian.
He was holding two bottles in his hand and he wasn't looking, and then just sorry, little buddy.
He gives you a big smile.
On the floor, to be fair.
No, I wasn't sitting on the floor anymore.
Oh,
you are still just lower than him. He is a giant lion man holding two bottles, slightly inebriated, and just walked into you. He apologized.
Ooh. Can I see which number? Can I see which number's on his hand?
On his hand, you do see 5.
Oh, right. He's okay. He's Vojo's guard, right.
Yeah, so you're like, fine.
And a second later, he comes into, it's just like, "Milady," and puts down, she's like, "Oh, okay, wonderful. We have everything for an excellent night."
So the surface level thoughts thing that Andy mentioned. Because Rain's probably a different conflicted than she was when he first met her, and she's sitting next to him. There's the conflicts of like, I remember what did I say before about what the baseline desire was? Are you looking for that, or do you not remember? I don't remember.
I don't remember exactly. It was something about just. It was something where you just kind of wanted. I guess it was more like a desire for. Back then, you were still wanting to just move up. You still had that pride of wanting to be more yourself, but you didn't have a lot of these memories the first time.
Okay, so it's changed to that's a similar feeling as that, but with way more power drive, like to the point where like it's like the arrogance that you would feel inside someone who wants to be the person standing next to the queen.
Okay,
because that's
Andy's has probably shifted from like nothing to just like finding what he wants to do, just like finding himself, I guess, like a college student. Like
Andy is a college student.
What is running through Serenity and Delson's minds?
Serenity wants Vojo's dress.
Whether it be off or on, doesn't matter. But wants the dress.
That is a beautiful dress, and I want it.
And Delson, surface level, what thoughts would be going through your head after the day you've had?
Delson's He doesn't like crowded places very much.
So he just probably feels uncomfortable.
Well,
Yeah.
here is probably the least crowded in this entire
True.
club you're gonna get. Like, it's very
I don't know.
isolated.
Besides the hallway.
He's never met Vojo before, so he's just kind of apprehensive at the moment.
Well, you have met Vojo, just not in this form. She was that Baroness who was dressed like the Tabaxi, and then the more like Lianin the other times of year.
You've never seen her look like a normal fucking person.
She's just a normal Asimar right now.
Okay. I don't know. Other than that, not much.
Okay, just a slight discomfort.
Yeah.
And
discomfort and probably that little like knot you get in your stomach where you've had a lot happen in the day and you're like, oh, by golly gee.
Yeah. Andy definitely has this feeling of like restlessness about him, of like wanting to have a good time, like wanting to let loose a bit.
Mm-hmm.
You just feel the drive.
Yeah.
Before we get into all that, I need to know what Seabreeze is doing in the background.
So, do I see any people walking around with trays of stuff?
Yeah, you see a lot of you can see a mixture of tieflings. You can see some devilkin men and women. Look like some incubi and succubi.
How many doors are there?
How many what?
Doors.
So looking around, you can see there's 10 pods in this room. The only exits and entrances that you can see in this room is the place that you came out of, that one corner, and then when you look down near the end, near the thaumaturgists and the bouncers and protectors they have around those thaumaturgists, you can see a way off on the right that seems to go down, and then a way off on the left that seems to go not down but off into a separate room connected to the side.
Okay, quick question.
Mm-hmm.
If I pick something up while I'm invisible, does that break my invisibility?
It's action and cast a spell, I think. If it's just regular invisibility,
I think it's attacks.
Right?
No, it is action. So if you drink a potion, definitely it'll break your invisibility.
Let me read it real quick. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Does anybody else ever have to go through the alphabet sometimes to know
every time?
It's like, I'm 25. I should probably know the alphabet just off the top of my head. All right. Invisibility. IN.
Is this storm like magical?
Anything
because
that
like it's not snowing.
The spell ends for a target that attacks or casts a spell, so you don't attack or cast a spell.
Oh, beautiful!
That's what I thought. Hey, I was right.
Can anyone?
I love being right.
Oh, he dropped his binky.
Oh, you got problems, Brian. He lost his binky.
All right, Callum, you see people on and off every couple of minutes. You see one walks up to a door. It's not a constant thing into one of the pods.
Right, but like if I go back around the corner in the stairwell, would I have enough time to cast invisibility on myself with no one watching?
Oh, you could hide behind some of the pods. Like there's little places to like squeeze in the corners in between the walls if you wanted to get somewhere hidden.
That's how.
Oh. Roll a stealth check as you're trying to go off into one of these hidden corners to cast a spell.
Holy shit.
I love that.
So my stealth check is a 28.
Nice. Disadvantage?
Yeah, we're rogues.
That's so good.
All right. Nobody saw it. Like the wind itself, you just brushed over behind one of the pods. The closest one, you're probably hidden behind pod number 4, opposite of where pod number 5 is right now.
All right, so I'm waiting for one of them, like the pod, to open up the door, and I'm gonna go in.
Of pod number 4?
Yep.
All right, it will probably take 2 minutes.
And then some fucking wind whisper things.
You can see just one of the waitresses. Actually, this person they do seem to carry 2 bottles on them, but not on a tray. And she does go into the room, and you sneak in behind.
Okay, what do I see?
As you get inside and the door closes, you see.
Oh no! You know what I just realized? I might not be able to open the door from this side.
As you walk inside, you see several about 6 suits of armor on the ground. You can see there are several clothes that have been strung up all over, and you can see 4 naked men of different races and 2 naked women around the room with several succubi, incubi, other creatures, including the one who walked in with the alcohol, all lying there drinking and near each other.
You can just wait until another person comes to get out, though. So you don't have to worry too much.
That's true.
Yeah, you are now in this room and you just see what appears to be maybe starting something like that.
No, fuck that. I'm gonna go loot their armor. I'm gonna go check out what they got.
Okay. So
I'm already here.
Yeah. You can see at times.
Can I quickly send Wet Hand
Mm-hmm.
to go and look in any of the other pods to see if anything interesting is in any of the other ones?
He'll be like, I'll see what I can find. And starts walking around. Yeah, you can see they do start pouring some glasses out to have some drinks. And they start getting a little bit more familiar with each other. And you're just invisible in this room, you peeping fucking
Well,
dog.
at least their coin pouches, even though they're naked and fucking in the corner.
Roll an investigation check with, instead of disadvantage, normal, because you're invisible.
I got a nat 20.
Okay. So this is gonna take.
I'm so fucking excited about this.
This is gonna take time to. This is gonna take time to search through all of their armors because it's 6.
I also
total.
bet that the Rainbow Tabaxi has like a "you lose it, it's lost" policy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's why you check it at the door.
Yeah.
Okay. So
you gotta admit though, it's gotta be like really valuable shit because they kept it on their person.
Probably, yeah.
Well, I think Rain has her bag.
You can see on their on all of their areas. You can see all of them do have split. It's what is splint armor. You can see all of them have long swords and swords on their person. They do seem to have a lot of like guard, kind of like insignias and things like that on different brandings and everything. You can see daggers and other types of small weaponry, but the one things that do stick out, a lot of them, is you do see these cards. As you're looking down at all of them, they do seem to have what looks like cards with almost like fools drawn on them.
Oh yeah.
I forgot about the cards.
Each one of them does have a card with their armor.
Oh my god.
Can I take all 6 cards?
You could just ruin their lives.
Yeah,
oh my
God. You can try to take all 6 cards off of them.
Oh my god. When Whisper might just straight up die is the thing.
Oh yeah, they can obliterate him. These are high level fucking like guards.
Paladins and shit.
You had a 28 stealth?
Yeah.
Yeah. These you
lucky little bitch.
You grab these 6 cards and you look back and none of the cards didn't go invisible with you. So you're just holding 6 cards kind of floating in air right now. You kind of look back curiously and nobody seems to have looked at you yet.
I'm going to hold them close to the ground.
Okay.
And go and stand next to the door.
Okay. We'll come back to this in a bit.
You're gonna ruin their fucking lives. Oh my god.
They're getting in so much trouble.
Insane.
So yeah.
They're gonna be thrown off.
So, the rest of you inside. So,
oh man,
Vojo's like, oh, thank you all for coming. It is a glorious night for celebration. Everything before the gala tomorrow. Everything you provided me, I read through it all. And she looks over to you, Rain, and she's just like, it's so terribly sweet. Oh, everything that I'm going to be doing to get rid of her. She's going to jail immediately.
Rain in her head, probably, yeah, I gave all the information.
I ask in my brain to Otto if it's safe to take both potions at once.
You look over to Otto as this is happening. So real quick, Rain, would you say anything back?
I say, what did I say out loud? She's like, I would hope so. It was quite difficult for one of our members to get that information, and to keep it safe to get it to you.
Well, it'll be good use. I know exactly where I'm going to expose her tomorrow in the middle of the gala. It's gonna
Even
be
though she's
beautiful.
probably going to jail. Well before that, I got this woman arrested so quick.
The only people who know is Misfortune, you guys, and this group, or you assume Misfortune has gotten everything.
I hope so. She's not sent a letter back, and it's quite rude that she did not give acknowledgement about the useful information for protecting our kingdom I gave her.
I wasn't saying that out loud. Okay.
I know. I decided to be Rain. That's Rain's thought of how rude it is.
And she's just like, oh, it's going to be wonderful. And then Andy speaks out to Otto, and Otto, still in the corner, just dancing a little bit lovely and everything going on, and looking at you curiously, Andy, as you ask that. And he's just like, of course, we have these drinks for everybody. In fact, anybody. You guys can each try one if you would like.
Okay.
Looking at the 1, 2, 3, 4 of you that are in the room right now, he's like, oh, I'm probably going to have to get some more. Touches the wall again.
Andy really wants to take both. And if nobody will stop him, he will take both.
Rain's not going to stop him because she doesn't know what they are.
And he turns to Rain and Delson. He's just like, feel free. These are 2 drinks: Thaumaturgy's Passion and Druid's Craft Intuition. Lighter versions of what we shared with you all earlier.
So excited.
Oh yeah, I still have that power, by the way.
Has
storing up magic.
People take both of them?
What was that, Serenity?
Has Serenity seen people take both of them?
Not together. Typically, one person takes one or the other. But they're offering both at once.
I'm taking both.
Andy,
I'm so excited.
Take it. Roll 2 Constitution saving throws.
I guess I'm going to try the Druid's Craft.
Wait, I have advantage if it's poison.
It is not poison.
It's not poison. Okay.
It's addiction.
Yes. We've been over this in the group. It's addiction.
16 and 23.
23. You take them and you don't feel anything particularly out of the ordinary, but they do taste like there's this almost like spark as it's going down your throat. You feel this energy kind of just as it goes down your esophagus, it starts to just fill your body. And then you blink and everybody sees Andy's eyes kind of just turn purple and then like red and then everything. Andy, you don't realize this. And Andy, you kind of on your hand, you can at times kind of just create like little gusts for a second. And but just like, oh, I hope you enjoy these. This is a special treat for what you guys.
I'm feeling Andy's gonna get high as hell tonight.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Andy just starts trying to grow vines on one of his arms, like how his astral self looks.
Okay. As you're doing this, you can see kind of they just start wrapping around your arms a little bit and saying, she's like, now the effects do last for an hour, but feel free to have as many as you want. I certainly, she takes 2 off the table and drinks both, and she's like,
oh god, bad influence for Andy.
And Otto puts his hand out, kind of gesturing. He's like, please, feel free. Anybody who wants them.
Rain will try a Druid Craft one, but she's also going to scoot if there's a bottle of rum. Just scoot the bottle towards her and put it in front of her.
Okay.
I'm guessing, are there clean glasses or are all the glasses used on the fucking table?
I'll hand her one of the ones that I used if you want.
There are some that are clean, though some it's hard to pick at one time whether it's been drinking clean or if it hasn't been used. A few seconds of actually inspecting, you can find some glass.
Rain's gonna do that and grab the cleanest one she can find of glass and pour herself a couple. Would be, you know, like 3 shots of rum to sip for the rest of the night.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
As well as take a Druid Craft thing, because fuck it.
You can roll a Constitution saving throw.
That's not great. That is only a 8.
8. Okay, so as you take a sip of this Druid Craft, you kind of feel like something you haven't felt before in a while. It's almost like that freedom of the outside that you were in when you're behind the Martathas family, except almost like you feel like you're not in the city anymore. It feels like you've a place you've never seen before yourself, but it's definitely touched to your almost like core of who you are.
Yeah.
You feel like you're surrounded by a forest for a few seconds.
I feel like I'm in the Grove for like a second, something I've only read about.
Yeah, what you can only imagine what being surrounded in a forest feels like. And you really like this drink.
Great.
Oh god. Now we have like like a little thing that Rain maybe wants to do is go to the Grove now.
She's always wanted to go to the Grove her entire life.
This has probably been one of
it's
the
where her family's from.
This has probably been one of the best drinks you've had in a while. It's something you definitely are like, I'd like this again.
Wonderful.
Serenity is gonna drink both.
Another!
Rain!
Whereas Andy's just kind of like, these are great.
Serenity, roll 2 Constitution saving throws. And Conlon, you have the ability to use the spell Druidcraft for the next
14.
hour.
Okay, well, I'm going to hold that back for a little bit.
14
It's a cantrip. You can use it as many times as you want.
14,
Oh,
15.
yeah.
You can feel the same thing as Andy, almost like a spark go down your chest. Nothing too special, but then suddenly you know instinctively these things you can do. Druidcraft and Thaumaturgy.
I like Druidcraft, a little flower in Rain's hair.
Rain, as soon as you're like out of this zone where you feel like you're in a flower, you realize you realize it's a flower in your hair.
Okay, well, it's normal, whatever. Does not match the dress, probably. I'm wearing a black, like...
No, I replaced the one that got wrecked the other night.
I'm just saying, it probably doesn't match the black cocktail dress I'm wearing.
Otto dresses over to you, Delson, and be like, would you like to partake?
Why not? We only live once, I suppose.
Take either or both. Which one would you like?
Andy definitely goes.
Rain also is like, eh.
I'll do the Druidcraft.
Okay. So you take the last Druidcraft on the table. So roll a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, I'm good at those.
Content.
Poor baby.
I know.
Oh no!
Oh no, what'd you do?
Hardcore.
That's a natural 1, my friend.
You're straight up addicted to
it. Why not? Takes the sip, and Delson, you like are projected for a second into this area. You actually see what looks like vines just cover the area around you all throughout here, and you feel like you are no longer in this confined space. Your moments of insecurity of like, oh yeah, I don't really like being around in tight spaces. You feel like the area is now an open forest right now, and you're very comfortable before you snap back, and you almost feel like you can still feel these vines around you. This is one of the best drinks you probably had in your life.
So I'm just gonna sit back in my seat and just ride it out.
This is a question to Delson. Is what type of elf is your family? Are they high elves? Like they're okay.
I haven't thought that through about my dad. Brian, what kind of elf is my dad?
Forest.
Well, my father is a high elf. My mother is human.
I know that, but I'm just saying what the breeding is.
Mm-hmm. And for your family, Andy, your father, he was not a high elf. You're from wood elf descent, but your family's been in the city for a while, so could you really call them wood elves anymore?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Like,
you're pretty far removed comparatively.
And Otto kind of just smirks over to Rain and Delson as he sees you guys like that for a second. He's like, "Good, enjoy the night."
Yeah, Andy definitely is just like making little flowers in his fingers just over and over and over.
Rain is absolutely stressed as hell. Rain is, make the night.
Flowers falling on the floor because I just keep making them.
Delson's just fucked right now.
Yeah, you're not
addicted.
Drunk, but you're like high on magic. So you have the Druidcraft spell right now, Andrew. You probably find yourself at the time kind of just like...
Yeah. I'm just gonna be looking at my hands. There's just gonna be like vines sprouting from my hands.
There's gonna be little black flowers forming because black. Because
do you know what a black dahlia is?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Those, yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, I want to get better at it. Ethan and Julia, thank you for joining the chat. I didn't say anything about your comments yet, but I hope you guys are enjoying.
You're watching people get addicted to potions.
Yeah. Otto's just like, so, on top of everything for the celebration we have in order for everything tomorrow, I'd like to let you know, I guess we should probably plan some things, or at least help you all. Even though we're not going to be directly involved, we are going to be accomplices, I guess, within the party itself, in ones to assist when needed. I did figure out a...
Accomplice is a strong word, but yes.
Yes. Definitely, and Vojo's just like, yes, please don't get us implicated. This is something I don't
Hence why I said strong word.
Well, anyway, we did find out a little bit more about their schedules. So the way
Rain takes out that notebook.
as you're still feeling super just warm and you feel like you're surrounded by force without the visuals. Delson sees the visuals. So,
yeah. Rain will take out her notebook.
If there's any time to nat one right there, Andrew, that's the perfect nat one.
Dude, we're in a forest.
Good nat one.
He's like, so there's an arrival period for the party. It's a 2-hour period that starts about 30 or so minutes before sunset, to around 8 o'clock. So around 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock is when admittance is going to typically be. It looks like Dai Hanada plans to have all the Baron and Baronesses coming first in the first half hour. So those of us who are going to be using the tickets we gave you all, you'll be arriving with us sometime within that first period, disguised as Vojo's siblings. And she's like, "Oh yes, I have everything. I did acquire some of their outfits, so it will not be anything too hard to dress them up as. I have pictures, and there's always some magic or..."
There's no such thing as pictures, they're paintings, but whatever.
Yes, paintings.
Rain's like, okay. Rain's now gonna go into assignment mode. She's like, okay. Well, Serenity, you'll be going with them at 6:15.
Oh yes.
Because we have to totally split the party to enter this. We have to split everyone up.
True.
Mm-hmm.
And Jojo at times is like, "Oh, it's wonderful," and she kind of brushes against your leg a little bit, Serenity, that you'll be coming along with us.
Yeah, it'll work out. She'll probably get ready with you guys. I don't even want to think about what's going to happen there.
Maybe.
I'm going to put my hand on Vojo's thigh and gently press upwards.
She's going to be like, "We got to be on our best behavior there, but maybe if you want to come for the after party afterwards."
I'm surprised it's not before show orgy.
Oh, well, I assume you guys are all going to be busy in the morning, but if you want to come for our little fun beforehand, you definitely all can.
No, I have things to do.
Crazy eyes wide shut party.
Yeah.
As expected.
He is bad at sitting still.
And he's now wiggling. Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine there's grass growing under his toes.
Andy and both Otto at the same time. Almost you probably start trying to get in rhythm with Otto at times.
I think he's just kind of tapping his feet and nodding his head, little movements, just like.
Delson's doing the same thing, just sitting back in his seat, just.
And he says, spacing out.
I probably look at Delson. Oh, we lost the boy.
Humming along to the song in his head, and it's probably going to annoy Otto.
And then Otto is just looking around. And then after that, the second half hour, so right at sunset for the next 30 minutes or so, those from Divinity's Overlook. And he takes his look over at Delson for that time. He's just like, those in Divinity's Overlook will be going in. So those, because he did get your last name before, so he does know who your family is.
Yes, so, I'll be going with Delson. So apparently, according to the kingdom, we're now dating.
And he's like, "Oh, you acquired tickets that way?"
Yes, his mother had a ticket for him, and we convinced her to give us another ticket. I'm his date.
Interesting. Okay, so it's going to be split up a little bit.
It will be very split up, which will work out for us not looking like accomplices.
Yes, and then the last hour afterwards is where everybody else who has invitations, those special invites from other areas, organizations, things like that. So I'd say you guys acquired the one, did you guys acquire the ticket from the researcher, correct?
Yes.
So if you do utilize his, that you'll be arriving in the last hour.
I feel also Breeze.
I got one from normal. Is that when I should arrive as well?
Yes.
He looks at you like, oh, so you did look over at normal shop. Are they? How are they? I haven't.
Interesting.
They seem completely normal.
I like her.
Otto kind of gives you a look, and he's like,
I'm smiling back at him that he knows that I'm bullshitting, but like in a fun way.
Do I see a floating pie right now? Is that,
Yeah.
as he's looking at you, Rain.
Oh yeah, because the pie. Rain's like, oh.
You mentioning Rain saying everything's normal, your mind probably subconsciously flashes something.
And she's like, oh yeah. As
pie.
stated, weird experience. You should meet her one day.
She's a lot of fun.
She's a lot. No, a lot of fun, overstating it. A lot, right statement. Sorry, this is me in my voice. I'm hyper now.
Do you think it's worth trying to get a partnership with them? Some sort of connection?
I'm unsure.
That'll be harder said than done.
I'm unsure if she makes connections like that. She tends to travel around a lot.
He doesn't have eyebrows because he's a Drakenblood Dragonborn. His black form, almost like a dragon-esque maw, come out, and you can see like his mouth gets a little grumpled, and you can see his actual scales kind of shrug down, like confusion. He's like,
oh, is he thinking about how like I'm thinking about how like normal flows through all of time and space, and Rain's like, I kind of get it, but not a lot.
He does look at you, and he's kind of getting some of this from your head, and he's just like,
she doesn't stay in our time that much.
Interesting.
Can I?
She's quite curious. I do wonder if gods happen to know her.
As all of this is happening, can Andy make an insight check to see if Rain and Delson are actually starting to date, or if it's a ruse? Because
it's
neither of them
connection.
Mentioned that. So
roll an insight check.
It's a business connection.
He's like, what?
Did I miss something? Was there a deep emotional connection I missed for these two unfeeling?
No. 11.
These two deeply unfeeling beings.
You're not certain on either spectrum. You're like, was she just lying again, or was that the truth? And you got a little bit like, huh? Like,
yeah,
you're not sure.
Confused.
That's reasonable. It's because that's extra confusing because like both Delson and Rain are pretty like not open with their feelings, so you would never know if like they just happen to have an emotional moment.
Just kind of thinking like maybe they're actually dating and they're just like trying not to show off about it or something. Maybe I remember Rain didn't really like PDA that much.
Maybe they're just really dating and they're bad at it.
Yeah, I don't know.
We're not dating.
It's also
but still.
hard to read. It's also hard to read Rain in the moment while she's writing all this down, and Delson's kind of just in the corner, just like vines.
Yeah, he's making flowers and vines, and he's kind of like music.
Yeah, so Andy's brain right now is just question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to read Delson. I'd say he's gone. We'll get him back later.
And at this time, you can see the door open up one more time, and you can see another lady coming in with more of these colored drinks. And Voja's like, more fun. At this time, so Seabreeze.
Yes.
So after about 2 minutes of watching people foreplay, and
I'm not watching them, I'm watching the door.
So just having your back turned to foreplay and other things going on, and just hearing these sounds you're trying not to pay attention to, the door does open up, and another person comes in with some of these interesting colored drinks. Some of them greenish brown and orange, and another one like purplish blue in these bottles with corks at the top.
All right, so I wait for the person to pass me, like with the cards on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Pick up the cards, like put them all in one stack. Barrel roll out the door.
Okay.
Barrel.
You're able to make that. Ooh, my map. No. Sorry, my map flew away from me. You are able to make that the gap, and at that point, get outside. And as you do, you get.
How long does my invisibility last from this point on?
Oh, invisibility lasts for an hour, so you've probably been at most maybe 10 minutes in this invisibility.
Oh, I thought it was a 10-minute spell.
I'm pretty sure invisibility is an hour.
I think it's an hour.
I thought greater invisibility was the hour.
No, greater invisibility is just something where you can like do actions and stuff like that still while you're invisible.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, yeah, you're right then.
Let me just make sure.
Okay, well, Seabreeze has his wonderful adventure. I'm gonna use the bathroom.
Yeah, you are holding greater invisibility is 1 minute, and you can still do actions and things like that. Regular invisibility. Okay. Regular invisibility is 1 hour, but you lose it when you do something.
Got you.
So as you do get outside, and just in this moment, the door closing behind you.
I'm going to go behind pod 5 and stash the 6 cards.
Okay.
In such a way that I'll be able to find them again, but they're not like easily detectable.
Oh, and like one of those cracks in between the pods.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say roll. This is a stealth check. This is something to hide them away, stash them away. So stealth check at disadvantage.
Okay. Stealth check at disadvantage is a dirty 20.
Okay. So you're able to find a nice little tucked in corner, like behind the pod itself as it does round down. There is a spot there where you can see just a lot of dust is caked up. You can see old like cork bottles. You can see some copper coins and silver coins that have just been tossed on in this way. And then you are able to stash those cards underneath there in a way where they're hidden out from sight.
Okay. I'm going to continue on my warpath.
And as you
This is so cool.
As you do walk up, then you turn around, you can see Wet Hands right in front of you, and she's like, "Oi, most of these pods right now is people having different levels of fun. Pod number 10 is just one single person in there in a hooded cloak. They not seem to be moving."
Let's go investigate.
Okay.
How curious.
Okay.
Seabreeze finds a dead body.
There's other things you can find that's interesting.
I want to ask, would I know? Would knocking be an action?
Knocking is an action, but it's not an attack or a spell.
Right. Okay, gotcha. It has to be an attack or spell. So I'm going to knock on the door.
Okay. You knock on the door. There's a few seconds of nothing and no response before you do see the doors just open up.
Okay. What do I see?
You see this hooded figure with a snout with kind of just very frayed almost whiskers coming off at a second, some of them looking charred, and that's all you can see outside the hood itself. And you can just hear "I didn't order anything, please leave." And you can see this creature kind of lifts a little bit up, still covered with darkness, and they don't see anything. And they look over and they grab a glass on the table and just give a...
As the door begins to close, as they say, "Please leave," I'm going to, like, quietly slip in.
Oh,
okay.
God.
All right.
When Whisper's gonna cause a
Brian, I love that you have all of this planned out. I love you.
He knows who we are.
I know, but it's great.
I'm intrigued to see what Seabreeze is going to do in this room now with this NPC, who is very interesting. This creature kind of just, the door closes, and he just one more time just doesn't really give a regard, and just keeps sipping a little bit of a drink. And they have a book in front of them. You can see to their side, they do have a set of armor on the side that does look like, let me see, it's not armor like the guards, it's hide armor. It looks like it's made out of some sort of wild beast. And they just have a book in front of them, and they just go, just flipping through some of the pages.
Okay.
At times, it does seem like he pulls out a scroll, and he has good paper, and he starts like copying some things down into the book.
I would like to go sneak up behind him and see if I can see what he's writing.
Roll a stealth check at disadvantage. Well, regular because
he's invisible.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what that is, Brian?
What is that?
Yeah, that's a fucking 30. That's a nat 20.
You're gone.
You
so excited
on the couch and you climb up and you're behind this person on the wall.
I want to sit in his lap.
You're not sitting in his lap. He's gonna feel
He'd
that.
feel you.
I know, I'm just kidding, but obviously I'm being awesome.
Wait, but he's dripping. How is Seabreeze hiding? He drips.
Your breath.
I do drip. Yeah, don't set me right next to him. I'm obviously cognizant of the fact that I drip.
Yeah.
He notices a puddle moves closer towards him.
You can see that this is quite obviously a spell book that this person is writing into right now.
I'm gonna steal it.
You're gonna try to steal it.
It's in his hand.
No, not in front of him. No. Wait, guys. Just wait.
Okay. Are you looking at what he's writing onto the page currently?
Yes.
Roll an Arcana check. This one is at disadvantage because your stuff doesn't do anything for this.
Okay. Oh, that's actually still not bad. Arcana. All right, that's an 18.
18.
I feel like I still probably didn't know what this is.
You can't tell what this spell is that they're writing in, but you do know you're pretty confident with most spells of the levels that you can cast. So you can cast up to 2nd level right now, right?
Yes.
With this Arcana check, you can definitely tell this is at least a tier or 2, maybe even 3 above the levels that you can cast.
Can I tell what school it's from?
With that Arcana check, yes. Let me just figure out which school it is real quick.
So cool. This is so cool.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell it's an enchantment.
Ooh.
And one thing you do notice as you're here next to this person is just this heavy breathing that they have. Just almost like houndish, like from what you would imagine from some sort of wolf or dog or something like that. What do you do?
Okay, can I discuss with the party Callum to Vicky, Conlon, Andrew, and Brian?
We can talk as players. What's up?
I think I want to cast Hold Person on him and then try to steal his shit and leave.
I will tell you one flaw on that
keep
plan.
In mind, that will break your invisibility.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
he'll
he's
know what you look like.
Paralyzed.
Yeah, but he's also a high-level
character. He'll know
character.
what you look like, though.
Yes.
Yeah, he is a high-level character, so there's no guarantee that Hold Person will work.
And he'll know where you are as soon as you cast it. So he'll be like, oh, look, a person! And he'll obliterate you.
Mm-hmm.
I understand your want.
I was more worried about the implications of this Seabreeze also being wanted.
Yeah, there's that worry too. You're supposed to not get in trouble as a Seabreeze.
Yeah.
That's the thing. But I need this spell book. I need to know what's in it.
Do you?
Do you need to, or do you just really want to?
No, yes. But that's the thing is, I really want to. Seabreeze sees it and is like, I need this. Holy Jesus, I need this right now.
Yeah, do what your character would do.
All right.
You might need to jump into the dance floor in a second.
Yeah, straight up, he's gonna cast Hold Person on this guy. This is how he would function.
What type of save is Hold Person?
Wait. Before I do this, I want to make a general investigation of the room to see if I have any other ideas before I jump to this. This is knee jerk.
Wait until he drinks too much and falls asleep.
Roll
That
I only
might
have 1
take
hour of
hours.
invisibility. Yeah.
roll an investigation check.
Disadvantage?
Yes, because invisibility is not going to help unless you just spend a really long time before doing this.
No, my investigation check is a
Is a what?
16.
16? I mean, on his person, you really can't tell. What you do tell is that looking around his things, you can see he does have a bag, and his bag does have an insignia of the Nialchi Care Guard. However, it looks old.
Do I know what the Nialchi Karen Guard is?
Yeah, Nialchi Care Guard are the Zista City Guard. There's the Zista Guard, there's the Nialchi Care is the official name for them.
Got
Just
you.
like
Okay.
how there's the Nialchi Care soldiers, the ones who go out from the city, the Nialchi Care Guard are the ones in the city.
Got you. Okay. So okay, quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Does it take does it make noise to summon the sword?
To summon the
Bye,
sword,
Callum.
you do. Okay. As I'm about to describe, literally every time it's to the person who I'm talking to or who is talking. It couldn't
Hey,
be
guys.
worse. Hey, Callum.
Does it make noise to summon Fazozaz Shalud?
You see the ice kind of just, and you kind of hear that ice crystals forming. It's not a loud sound. It might be dulled by the light reverberating bass of the thaumaturgists, but there is a slight like shing, like of ice forming and collecting together.
Isn't there a speaker in here?
There's no speaker in here. It's the bud is open on all the top, and the music
okay.
comes in diluted from up there. You do also have to say a command word in order to make that happen, Callum.
But I could whisper it.
Yeah. So what would you like to do? Everybody holding their breath to see what
Yeah,
Steve
oh
I'm
my
thinking.
gosh.
I'm sorry. I'm thinking.
No,
No,
you're allowed
so-
to think. This is
You
a
are
big
allowed
moment.
to think. It's not a quick moment thing. I love how everybody had silent and we're just like, what is he gonna do? What is he gonna do?
Can you tell me what guiding bolt does again?
So guiding bolt
Shit.
is typically a cleric spell. It's
Shit.
a bolt of arcane. It's not arcane energy. It's divine. A flash of
Divine.
light. It says a flash of light streaks toward a creature of your choice within a range, 120 feet. You make a ranged spell attack against it. On a hit, the target takes 4d6 radiant damage, and the next attack roll made against this target before the end of your turn has advantage, thanks to mystical dim light glittering on the target until then.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Oh man, you're gonna miss out stuff.
I know, but I have to pee.
So let's give Callum a few minutes to think about what he wants
No,
to
no,
do.
no. I've decided. If you're ready to do this, I'm ready to do this.
Let's take a 5 to 10 minute break. Just go right here so Vicky can go to the bathroom. Some of us can. You can finalize exactly what you want to do, and we'll make sure it is just 5 to 10 minutes because it is starting to get a little bit late.
Yeah, we need to stop soon. So I can sleep.
Let's just go on a quick 5 to 10 minute break. That is the max, and we'll be right back.
See you in a bit. Yes, they can hear us.
Hello.
We're gonna watch Seabreeze die.
So, quick recap.
Again.
Everybody is in the Rainbow Tabaxi.
But he's gonna be dead.
The majority of the party is with Otto and Vojo Variana in pod number 5 on the VIP area.
Getting our schedule.
Seabreeze is invisible.
And he's definitely already like, I literally just told him he can tell us when he's gonna sneak off.
Oh, he told me.
He did tell Rain.
I gave him permission.
Rain hasn't given that information to the rest of the party. So so Andy in his head is thinking that.
Seabreeze is over in pod number 10, invisible, with wet hands kind of just peeking in from the corner, like his head sticking out through the pod, just almost like that, like Michael Jackson gift, just eating popcorn. I can't do anything, but I'm really curious of what's going on here. Over what seems to be some sort of ex-knight mage of some sort with a spell book who's copying a spell down. And Seabreeze, as you're looking over, taking a deep breath, what do you do?
I cast Hold Person on him.
Okay.
Moment of truth.
What's your DC?
8 plus 3 is 11. 14! Wow, you passed that, huh?
Let me see.
Better hope he rolls real low.
So as you reach out and your form becomes visible as you're casting this spell, right over, and this creature turns its snout, like kind of shot in your direction, you see the arcane energy come out from your hand, and the perch, as he goes there, its body kind of locks up. The quill in its hand drops for a second.
Damn.
But he saw me.
He does. His eye. You can see as its head turned in your direction as you were casting that, this glowing yellow, like curved and pointed eye looking over at you, and then the body just froze up, and the eye's still looking at you.
Okay, without missing a single fucking beat.
That was your action.
I'm going to hop over the couch, grab the spell book, close it, and run to the door.
Okay, so I'm going to need an initiative just to see the order, because we're technically in a combat here. So please roll me an initiative right now. And initiative is an ability score, so you roll it at disadvantage.
I can't even believe it. I could not even believe. I was like, I can't get lower than what I rolled, but I did.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
I got an 11.
11. Okay. So you cast this spell, and the creature is frozen up. That was your action for that turn. You have your movement and your bonus action. You go over, and you're basically moving in front of him to try to grab the book.
Yep.
Okay, he does get a turn before you. He's going to attempt to break out of your hold person.
Wait.
Okay.
How would he get a turn before? Oh, no, because
Initiative.
That was the surprise round for what Callum just did right there. Okay. And hold person every single turn. At the end of each of its turns, the target can make another wisdom saving throw. So right now it goes on to the creature's turn. It's going to make a wisdom save to try to break out.
Come on.
And that is an 18.
Fuck.
So its form just it kind of like shakes for a second.
Seabreeze.
And you can see the hood kind of just shakes back, and you can see a knoll with its ear kind of put down, one of them chopped off, and kind of like a crescent moon scar going around one that goes down to the bottom of its chin. And it just looks out at you curiously, doesn't even say anything. And you're right there in front of him. It is now your turn, Callum.
Good luck.
So I'm looking at him?
Yep.
Right your hands over the book.
Right at you, two yellow eyes, this fur, this grayish snout just looking back at you, kind of matted in some areas, and just not like vicious or angry, but pointed curiosity and kind of like almost like intrigued what's going on, but also at the same time sees where you're at, and you can see that there is some fierceness in the glare he's giving you.
Hi, I'm Seabreeze.
Okay. So I see that he broke free of my spell. So I'm holding the book like clutched to my left breast, like clutched.
So your action, you grab the book and you hold it close to him. You like shut it in front of him and grab it.
In one arm, and then I pull out the sword handle in my other hand, and I say, "I'm sorry. I just want to read this. Will you let me read this?"
It's not polite to take what isn't yours. Kind of like kind of in between each of his steps, almost like there's something kind of like lodged in his throat, kind of a little bit. He's just like, I would advise putting that back down.
I'm going to lower my sword and extend the book in my hand. And I repeat, I just wanted to read it. I don't know that spell.
Takes the book back and puts it down on the desk and the table in front of him. And he's just like, I like my peace and quiet. How did you get into here?
I'm going to sigh and like start tumbling a shitload of words out at once, and I'm gonna also put my sword away. I'm gonna start off by being like, useful skills, and I like hold up a mage, fucking Eldritch Blast in my hand, and I'm like, I'm showing them I got magic, just like him. And then I show him, or then I explain to him, ooh, this could go so bad. I'm gonna start. So I'm like talking and I'm tumbling over my words and I'm like trying to explain so I don't get fucking murdered. And I hold up a finger and I pull up my fucking Skywrite wand and I just start spelling it in front of him so he can read it. Like way easier.
And what are you spelling?
My friends and I are here.
Do not implicate us.
Oh, okay. You're right. I'm here as a guest of the Baroness. I unfortunately have a chaotic curiosity about me and couldn't help myself but come in here when a companion of mine, after slipping in here unbeknownst to you, told me there was something interesting in here. A lone man with a spell book. He can get in because he, and I hold up the amulet, is stuck in here.
He looks back and forth between your wand and then where you point at the necklace around you. And you can see almost like a cocked eye for a second. And it looks, and he's just like, if you're curious. There's like little yips every once in a while. They sit down over there and I'll show you when I'm done.
Ooh, somehow you didn't die.
So I sit
Insight
and I
check.
cock my head and I'm like, done. Is it new?
It'll be useful.
I'm going to sit quietly for probably about like a minute. And then I'm going to like start fidgeting and I'm going to be like, who are you?
He's copying down the spell in that minute, keeps on cocking up his eye to look at you at that time. And he's just like, just somebody trying to get by.
Ain't that the answer everyone gives?
A weird guy.
I like my privacy, and I've set up things to be by myself. Though I do have interests being around others, just not interacting with them.
What do you mean? You have interest being around them. Do you want to be invisible? Do you want to observe?
I got distracted.
Invisibility is easy. It is useful. I can't help the curiosities of what individuals have. I'm a collector of sorts.
I'm gonna start fidgeting again, and I'm gonna be like, and I'm gonna say quietly, "What do you collect?" I collect things.
You ask many questions.
I'm always curious.
Instead, maybe provide answers.
Of course.
Said your friend in this. Is there somebody trapped, a soul?
I think his name is Wet Hand.
Kind of like, you see his like fangs kind of like come down for a second. He's just like, huh, interesting. And he just keeps on writing.
Okay.
This guy is so great.
And back, so unless there's any other interruptions, he just keeps on copying the spell over into his spell book.
Oh, I have tons of interruptions. I'm probably gonna interrupt him the entire fucking time he's copying. Like, it's probably gonna take easily twice as long.
Alright, while this is going on back at the other group, so Rain, you have finished writing down everything for the times for everything.
I've only finished writing down the times for the beginning entrance times. There was nothing else on the schedule he gave me yet because you swapped over.
Yep, and that's what I'm saying. And after that, and Otto continues as Vojo comes over and grabs 2 more of the drinks that were there, and she passes them around to everybody as well. She doesn't even ask this time; she just hands one of each to everyone.
I think Andy's probably set since it's gonna last an hour, right? So there's no real reason to take 2 at once.
Oh yes. You thought it was just a normal tasting drink and everything, and you were fine. Those of you who really like it might be more inclined to having another one.
Yeah, so I'll put the ones that she gives me onto the table.
Okay.
Can Andy take a look around the room because he's, he gets bored, so he's gonna look around the room and see if there's anything interesting lying around.
Andy, do you want to dance?
Yeah? Yes!
Andy, yeah! Oh, I made my monitor freak the fuck out.
Yeah, Andy definitely accidentally uses that thaumaturgy thing where your voice is 3 times louder as normal.
Mm-hmm.
So his voice is just like super boomingly loud as he says yes.
I was like, I'll meet you down on the dance floor in a little bit. I'm letting Andy off the hook.
Before Otto kind of puts up his hand while you're like getting excited. He's like, before you go, before we get into everything here, what is it that troubles your mind?
Oh boy.
I'm curious.
I feel like Andy sits back.
I've never seen quite something like that before.
So I'm guessing it's from today.
I like how it doesn't trouble Serenity at all. She's like, eh.
Andy gets nervous and he's just like, oh shit, I forgot you could do that. I look to Rain for permission.
Give what you want to say. They're a threat that the world will know about eventually.
I guess that's true.
It's not like it's something we caused.
We had to do a errand for a friend. And person we were meeting really wasn't a nice person to run into. And, like, Andy's definitely underselling it, but as he's talking about it, he's, like, reliving it in his head. So,
Sick of a druid craft
Otto
at the
can
time.
definitely see, like, from Andy's point of view, what it was like
He's
in the
like-
pipeline being
it's like-
chased by her.
He's like, huh. I was curious what had happened to your friend. The other one that's not here.
Oh,
Yes,
oh,
yeah,
we
they
don't know
lost
this one.
him.
Who is that? That pulled him off.
Normal.
that was
Yep.
normal.
It's just he kind of leans back with a smile. He's like, huh.
One of normals.
She
Yeah, Rain thinks that in her own head. Yeah, one of them. I haven't. Good luck on that timeline.
I'm really hoping that she doesn't hurt him or anything. I don't think she would, but
I think there's gonna be a stern talking to about interacting with evil magic things that want to kill the world. But you know, the norm. Rain says it out loud.
The only one in the group that needs that talk.
Nope,
guess,
there's a
yeah.
list.
And and he's like, curious. Well, there are plenty of things that are cursed within the city.
Oh yes.
I would assume
definitely brings to mind the dagger in Andy's head. So he probably sees what the dagger looks like.
that seems like that one had let the curse get the better of them.
I'm not sure if it's willing.
I don't like the idea of anything that can do that to somebody.
Yeah,
I like how you're dancing, Brian.
Well, like I said a while ago, it's what you make of it. If you let the curses corrupt you, then all you are is corrupted. However, if you actually take them and utilize them, oh, you can become more powerful than you ever imagined. But
when does the risk outweigh the reward?
It kind of matters upon someone's soul, I would say.
And your intelligence.
Yes.
To be tricked. That's not something I'm saying out loud. That's just me bullshitting.
always is worth the reward.
That is an interesting thing to learn about Otto. 1 second.
The man loves power. No shit, it's worth the reward for
I
him.
can tell.
He has clearly been cursed twice, and he took full advantage of both of them.
And he's just like, so I dance. Who gives a shit?
I dance and I can read all of your minds. Like,
yeah, it's just an interesting life view. That
both can be cursed in many ways, and some of them are a little bit more obvious. He kind of gestures to himself as he does it.
I'm only cursed by my hubris. I did not say that out loud. Rain says that in her head, probably.
And he says, "It seems from your memories, your friend is setting himself down the path of a curse himself."
I just hope he doesn't turn into that.
Well, hopefully he ends up like myself. And he gives a wide smile.
I guess that's the better option of the two.
Very well. Well, we'll be up here. I'm sure we won't spend the whole night. There's a celebration here, and Vojo's like, of course, and Andy, please do come back. Oh, I love having you around in my company. I do want to just celebrate the whole night away with you.
Can I check to see if she's trying to imply something with that, or if she just
she is.
wants to hang out?
She wants to fuck the shit out of you.
I'm Andy, is the thing. Oh. 13.
13?
See, but that's where I'm gonna interrupt and I'll be like, Vogus, he's not comfortable with that kind of stuff, but I will gladly take his place every day for you.
Oh my god. He's sex fiend.
And she's just like,
that's the only reason to keep Serenity around. Keep
like,
Vojo happy.
I can definitely take you up on that later, but of course I'm not trying to I will never force anybody, but I'm ever curious.
Consent is a vitally important part of society.
And Vojo laughs, and she's taking a sip of another druid crafts intuition. She's like, hiccups a little bit. She's like, of course.
I didn't say that out loud, but still.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I thought you did.
No, because Rain would say it way meaner than that if she wanted to talk about consent.
Hey.
She's a person who's into some shit in her life, so
I definitely just nod and say, I appreciate the offer.
maybe I think that, but only Otto knows that.
And she after she drinks and says, she's like, if nothing like that, just your personality alone is infectious.
Aw,
I can
That's
agree with that one.
Sweet. Thank you.
that's quite nice.
Well, go off, have your fun. I'll be here waiting if you want to return.
Have fun, Vojo. I
And she
give
takes
a little bow.
and she goes. She looks back at you and kind of like holds out her hand a little bit.
Yeah. I'll give it a kiss. As is expected.
You should have given it kitty kisses. Just rip the skin off of it.
I'm not gonna lick her hand.
Just
I
Would've been
only
hilarious.
do that to people I like.
You walk outside the door.
Yeah.
You as soon as you approach with that mark towards the door opens up
Nice.
and you
Okay.
leave out.
Oh, I would totally have been stuck in there. I would have died.
No, you would have had to drag his body over.
I guess I go downstairs and try to see if I can find anybody I like, maybe get a drink, dance a bit.
You just see all the normal workers, and you head to the staircase to head back downstairs.
Yeah.
And we'll probably continue with your adventures for the next time there. With the rest of you, so after Andy leaves, so Otto, as Vojo sits back after the drink, she looks over to Delson and she's like, "Well, you look like you can have a few more." Here, she pushes some drinks over to you. You do love the taste of them.
You're nearly addicted,
And
my boy.
You are also pretty high right now.
I'm gonna roll a d20, and if I roll higher than 10, I'm gonna take it.
Okay.
Interesting.
1 to 10, don't. 11 to 20, take.
Cocked. I rolled a 7. I'm not gonna take it.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna I will politely decline. I will just be like,
I think I'm fine.
It's a lot getting magic in. Believe me, when I started off, it was quite overwhelming, but you will get used to it. And she takes.
Delson has magic.
But these are this is basically inserting like.
I understand, Brian.
Yeah. And she takes them instead, and she
It's
pushes them over to Serenity, not with pushing, but just kind of right in front of her on the table.
Serenity. It's getting crazy.
Brian is still fine.
And Otto is.
Rain is only sipping her rum.
Otto's gonna look
While
over.
writing.
And he's gonna pull up one of the bottles of vodka and just kind of puts it down. He's just like, yes. So continuing, just so you know, so the plan is after all the entrance, after everybody arrives around 8 o'clock, the die. He's going to address the party over in the ballroom on his stage. Not sure what type of message or announcement he's going to have.
I'm wealthy and important, blah, 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 blah.
He plans to take some of the barons and baronesses into his private quarters to discuss something, as the other party goers do arrive. I'm not sure exactly what they're going to discover, but after an hour's time, around 9 o'clock, we're assuming, there's going to be some sort of promotions within some of the inner ring families. We do know about that. At least one family is being used in this time to give different status by a member of the Galloways. They'll be able to get some actual placement within suspended superiority.
Rain in her notes literally just writes promotion. Martifast? Question mark? Like, she's aware.
And he's like, I'm not sure what time will be the best for all of you to try to acquire what you need. You're gonna
Rain's like, not during that.
You obviously need to either try to find out his pass code to get into his cache, and the accent in which it needs to go, or do you guys
Accent's
have
easy.
any way to dispel huge levels of magic?
Not currently. Wait, what do those cards do again? Are they
They
dispel magic?
dispel magic.
Oh man.
They dispel magic on the base level of the dispel magic.
I know,
spells
but
the
you
cards
know
that
how, what
do
Mr.
that.
Sweeney is like, wait, I got like 16 of these.
Holy
Ready?
shit. That's gonna be so useful. Holy shit.
Yeah, but we all know he's gonna use them all, and we're like, Seabreeze, that didn't do anything. He's like, I hoped it would.
Right. I'm picturing like the chakra, the little scroll things that they use in Naruto that make the bombs. Just a fuckload of them.
Yeah.
Maybe if you use more than one at a time, it's like having a 6th level or something if you use all 6.
We'll find out.
We'll have to see
That'd
if you
be
guys.
great.
Well, it doesn't matter because I can just try it 6 times because it
But no,
has to make a save.
Seabreeze hid those away, and now he's stuck in this pod. Who knows if he's coming out?
That is true. That useful
This guy
task.
could totally use this spell to eat me. He's gonna be like, yeah, just sit there and wait until I finish. I'm done. It's a how to cook Kenku spell, bitch.
How to cook and
It's how I eat this magic
That's a
bird.
nerve, man.
Okay, continue. Schedule.
Do you guys mind though if we wrap it up for the night? I have to get up kind of early tomorrow.
So we will continue the conversation there. However, the last thing I do want to end on is after several questions, dodging back and forth, this creature didn't seem to be addressing you anymore, Callum. As soon as you were asking all these questions, after about 20 minutes goes by, you see him finish the print on one of his spells, and he's just like, huh, perfect. Do you want to know what this spell does?
Kills you.
Yes. Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
He's just like, oh, well, you should. He holds the spell book in his hand. He's just like, you should go to sleep until I say otherwise. And I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw, Callum.
It's a sleep spell?
No.
Oh,
This is a command he's giving.
Oh, it's Gios!
It's command, probably.
I couldn't read it. Command's a first level spell. I bet it's Gios. Oh, that's a 19 plus my wisdom save.
19. So you do
Well, 19 plus my save.
You do feel a magical energy try to come over your body, and you are able to resist it. You kind of feel almost inclined for a second to follow what he says. You kind of shake it off for a second. How do you react? He looks a little bit kind of frustrated for a second, but he doesn't look like he's going to stop.
Stop casting mean spells on me?
He looks frustrated, but he looks at you still determined with a desire within his raised yellow eye.
I'm gonna ask him straight up. Are you trying to put me to sleep indefinitely? Is that what you just asked of me? You could just say please.
Oh my god. The way you guys respond to some of these people, it's just like, God, how would they respond? And then he doesn't say anything
Tomlin
back.
can't hear you.
Can we just have a fucking conversation?
Right? Can you stop casting shit at me? I said I was sorry.
That's what Rain did with Misfortune. She yelled at her.
He's like, but you have some things I want.
Like what?
Oh.
He's gonna try to cast it one more time. Roll a wisdom saving throw.
Well,
Shit.
okay, so
He's
as he
gonna
casts
out
it, I'm gonna say, like what?
Seabreeze.
Like what? What? And he once more. Go to sleep and you might find out.
Does a 17 pass?
17 does not pass.
Oh,
Fuck!
no!
So
Oh, fuck me.
as you see this wave in front, you kind of see your vision start blurring a little bit. Are you going to try to resist the command?
He asked me to sleep until he says otherwise.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Uh-oh. I heard some dice.
Me too.
I am so stressed right now.
Honestly, I started shaking when he said go to sleep until I say otherwise. I was like, uh-oh. Spaghetti-O.
Callum, you just feel this wave of just dark power just coursing through your head for a second, and you take 30 points of psychic damage.
Oh,
as
God!
You feel the blood start coming out from your nose.
Shit. Oh my god.
So that was Gios. It was totally Gios. Also, I'm unconscious.
Love it. Love it.
And when Seabreeze's body falls into the darkness, and you just hear this go,
Oh, you
and that is where we will end this week's session.
I'm happy we didn't give Seabreeze so many things to hold.
So it looks like there might, unless
no.
you guys figure this out next session, there might be a super secret solo session with.
Oh my god, Callum, you're totally gonna lose that sword, your necklace. Like, he's gonna steal all of that cool magic shit off of you.
Honestly,
Mhm.
I'm gonna kill him.
Wait a second. No, wait a second. Don't I have all of Wind Whisper's? I mean,
Not
Seabreeze's shit?
everything.
You don't have my amulet, and you don't have my sword.
The wand or the sword hilt. Those are all things that he held on. Everything else Seabreeze gave to you.
Oh yeah, the skywriting wand. Oh, that would be so mean of him to take, though.
Right? Now you can't tell anyone what I did!
But yeah,
so mean.
we will continue with that conversation with
Oh, I
Otto
hate
for
this.
planning in the future. Andy going to mingle around the club to see what other interesting folks and
Yes,
trouble.
that's a whole
Andy
nother
can
session,
possibly
guys.
find. And also see if Seabreeze can get out of this week's disaster that he got himself into.
Yeah, I can't believe I got knocked unconscious.
Without oh my god. All right. Well, we will catch you all for the next disaster next week. Please follow us on Twitch. We are getting there. We are so close to Twitch affiliate. Please get your friends to follow. Subscribe on YouTube. We need to get that up. And let us know how you think in the comments. We have plenty of actual great stories that we've posted beyond on our YouTube channel. So get involved in the Nat Disaster timeline and the multiverse. See what you like. Let us know what you think. And have a good night.
As of right now, Brian has lost the how many sessions it'll take to get through this day bet.
He has lost. Next session is my bet.
Yeah, thanks, Brian, for being
For
2 hours late, for pushing our session 2 hours later. I would have won today.
sorry.
I would have.
No, you wouldn't.
It.
You
This
probably
was a
not.
long session.
Yeah.
Also,
more to happen.
Yeah, I fucked everything up.
No, it's okay. You're getting closer to me getting free dice.
Yeah, you're giving me maybe free dice. You're also getting yourself closer to free.
Yeah, because you're at 7, Callum, which is actually looking like the most likely number.
Probably.
I am so he did cast Gios on me though, yeah?
You have lost on the effect of Gios, so now for the
Oh, by the way, Brian,
yes.
I just want to let you know, Gios is actually a Celtic word and it's pronounced Gesh.
Well, I think it's like Gaius in D&D because it's without that S, but I like calling it Gios because Code Geass is one of my favorite animes.
No, but the word Gios, the way that D&D spells it, is pronounced Gesh.
Gesh.
Interesting.
Well,
it's Celtic.
I choose to call it Gios in my world.
I did the same thing, and I will continue to do the same thing. It is Gios because it acts the same way.
Last thing before we go, everyone, just so you know. So Callum, under the effect of Gios or Gesh in whatever pronunciation you prefer. So now that he has failed, he is charmed by this creature for 30 days.
Oh.
While the creature's charmed by you, it takes 5d10 psychic damage each time it acts in a manner directly counter to your instructions, but no more than once per day. So for 30 days, if this guy wants to hold this influence on there, and he wants Callum to be asleep until he wants to, Callum can. But if Callum fails, if he tries to resist, he takes 5d10 psychic damage.
Seabreeze is not going to be able to go to the gala. Oh my
No, he's
god.
gone.
He's going to be gone.
We lost 2 party members before the gala.
Yeah, we totally
You know
did.
what really bothers me, though, is that I may not be able to dump my chaos fragments over the edge.
I mean, that doesn't necessarily directly disobey him unless he continues to tell you to sleep.
Mm-hmm. Callum needs to go to sleep when this creature wants him to go to sleep, or he takes 5d10 psychic damage, and then he has free will for the day, basically, at that point.
But can't they
there's
change
no
the
range on
command?
this. No, it's
No.
just what that command is. So for 30 days, randomly, if this creature wanted him to be like, yeah, go to sleep, he could just do that, and if Callum feels that urge, then he takes away 5d10 damage.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
does he have to be within 60 feet still, or can it be from any distance?
60
Okay.
range to cast it, but you're charmed on it. But yeah, sorry, we'll have these conversations outside of the
Sorry,
session.
guys.
Yeah, we got
Have a good
distracted.
night,
Night.
everyone.
Good night.
Brian?
Good night.
Good night, guys.
Good night, guys.